Hey everyone, welcome back to the review show. We're keeping it real goes right, and the preview show. We'll get into that in just a second. I'm your host, Omer Q, as always. Today we're going to be talking about the April 17th edition of AEW Dynamite, and also previewing in the most ultimate way AEW Dynasty, a pay-per-view that I personally am very excited for. One of, honestly, the most hyped I've ever been to attend a wrestling show, but we'll get into all of that. First, let me introduce my guests. And guys, by the way, signed off in the chat. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Before you guys introduce each other, though, I thought it'd be a fun little thing to make sure the fans get to know you. As you introduce yourself, guys, give me your favorite wrestling match of all time.
That's tough. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not for me. That's the easy one.
Just so they get a little taste, a little flavor of what's to come. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I can start off, give y'all some time. What's up, guys? You already know me. I'm real Omer Q. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Sound off. Favorite wrestling match of all time. Y'all who already watch the channel already know. Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega, Grand Slam 2021. It was everything I wanted it to be and more. That match absolutely, like, still to this day, like, just gets me out of my seat. I've only watched it 3 times, honestly, but even watching the clips, I'm like, this is so great. And it's one of those matches where I don't want to watch it too much, you know, because I'm like, I need this to remain special. So shout out to 2 of the greats, Kenny Omega, Bryan Danielson. And speaking of Kenny's, I'm gonna toss it over to this one.
Whew, my favorite match of all time. It's an easy one, man. It's an easy one. I feel like it's too easy because it's The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25. You talk about build-up. You talk about drama. You talk about The Undertaker jumping out of the ring and landing on his head. Just so much went on in that match, man. And without a doubt, in my mind, I don't know if it'll ever be unseated or replaced, but it's The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25. You want my second match? That's going to be Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes at AEW. What was that? Double or Nothing?
Double or Nothing.
Third match, you got Hangman Page versus Swerve Strickland. Fourth match, you got Bayley versus who was it? Sasha Banks at their first match at that NXT Takeover. And number 5, you got Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura at that NXT pay-per-view.
Jesus, okay.
Ooh, yo, NXT used to be heat back in the day.
Heat. Now it's garbage.
Yeah. Well, speaking of garbage, let's talk about Just Brian NY. What's up, bro? Hit me with your favorite match.
My favorite match, bro, you know what I'm saying? WrestleMania 40, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. Fit the Rock, fit the Undertaker, you know what I'm saying? Where my man's went ahead and finished the story, and I was there live to witness it.
As you guys can tell, Brian's been watching wrestling for a long time.
Young boy.
Born yesterday.
I got some other favorite matches, too. If y'all really want to go there, I could give y'all one.
Nah, you're good. We believe you, bro.
Alicia Keys versus Melina. What was it? Not Alicia Keys. Alicia Fox.
Oh, Melina versus Alicia
Who's
Fox.
Alicia Keys?
Yeah, that's his another match.
Nah. Carol.
Damn. Yeah. My favorite match has to be Kenny was really close. Really, really close. I thought he was gonna say 26, but I know why he didn't say. Yeah, 25. The reason I say 26 is because I really started getting into wrestling, like fully actually following it at that year, honestly, WrestleMania 26. And I really like Shawn Michaels. And, you know, he left right after that. At Raw, he came out like Shawn Michaels left the building. And it was just, I still remember it like it was yesterday. And every single time Shawn hit a switchy music, I was just like jumping 2 meters into the air. It was just a emotional roller coaster. Again, because of a similar reason, I also like Jeff Hardy and CM Punk. Loser leaves town. That was Steel Cage. Come on, Kenny. Come on, man. What is he, Voldemort? I can't say his name.
No, you can go ahead. I wasn't going to say nothing. I'll let you have it.
This is Kiss the Ring Unfiltered. You can say whatever the hell you want here, guys. Now that the fans got a taste of what you're cooking, let's see what they're saying over here. We got in the chat saying, great show. I'll be flying to St. Louis for Dynasty. Oh, same. I'll be flying to St. Louis as well. It's gonna be a great show. I can't wait.
Waste the money.
We got Eric. Yeah, I don't know about all that. Eric Douglas in the chat saying, I like the show. Well, fellas, that's a great place to start. Did you like this show? Brian, let's start with you.
No, I thought the show was all right. You know what I'm saying, bro? It was a decent go-home show. Not the craziest, but it was cool. I like the end segment, though, when Swerve jumped on everybody. Thought that was cool on some Spider-Man stuff. You know what I'm saying? The Will Osprey match against Claudia, that was fire too. That man Will Osprey don't know when to slow it down. It's very, very good stuff, you know. What else did I see? Oh, Mariah May, that was all right with Tony.
Come on, Brian, you can do it.
What else, man? What else during this show that stood out to me?
Yo, I'm so surprised.
I like the return of John Moxley. I haven't seen him in a while on Dynamite, or maybe I'm tripping, but I haven't.
He had the earring on. Dean Ambrose is back.
Back to the Dean Ambrose type vibe. He came out with the jacket, and I was like, "Hold on, bro, I seen this gimmick before somewhere."
Before y'all get into it, new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Jon Moxley, guys. He came out with the IWGP belt, cut that awesome promo, and it was both like a bit of a. It's interesting to see Moxley's the guy that AEW continues to go back to, as kind of like their if there's one guy who really defines as the face of AEW, no matter who comes in, who comes out, right? It's Moxley's their guy. He's the guy that Tony Khan, I think, decided a long time ago, I'm going to hitch my wagon to. Whenever they go through tough times, whenever they have a controversy, who's the guy who's coming out to cut the next promo? Jon Moxley.
He's right there. Yep.
Jon Moxley.
Carol, what do you think of the show?
Well, I didn't think it was, it set the world on fire, but that's because, I've been disinterested in AEW a little bit. They burned me too many times. And it's going to take me, more than one show to really come back into it. But all that being said, I like the show because not once, if I missed it, but not once did they mention the WWE, not once did they mention somebody else outside of AEW. They just, John Moxley went out there, cut a badass promo on Will Hobbs. I liked it. Like, this is the John Moxley I like. I have such a love-hate relationship with this dude. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, one thing I definitely respect is, like you said, Omer, he's always there. He's like, give this guy a vacation already, goddamn. But yeah, it was cool. I took him seriously. I think this is, to me anyways, the most relevant John Moxley has been in a while, like him winning the IWGP Championship. I just learned that today when he came up with the title. That's cool. The match with Will Hobbs kind of feels like, Kenny said this as well, it's like out of nowhere a little bit. I wish there was a bit more to it. Other than that, the whole entire show, my biggest takeaway was everybody just came out there and said, hey, Dynasty is happening. This is what I'm going to do in Dynasty, and watch Dynasty. That was it, man. Promote Dynasty. I liked it. I really liked that aspect of this show.
Big go home energy from this show. And like that,
yeah.
That's what they're trying to do.
Perfect.
Kenny Baum.
I mean,
tell him.
As they said, I don't think this show set the world on fire. But again, nothing offensive either. Like the Will Osprey and Claudio match. I mean, why are we doing that? That's something you can save when you have a build and some story behind it. So just to put the match out on TV, I really don't like them to do that. I think you could have just did some type of segment with Will Osprey and Bryan Danielson tonight. You didn't have to have him go out there and beat Claudio, because what was the point? I did like the women's stuff though. Deonna Purrazzo, Thunder Rosa, Toni Storm. I think those girls are going to tear it up at Dynasty. So that's one thing I'm excited about. Probably the thing I want to see most on the show, because I don't know about Swerve and Samoa Joe. They just really didn't grab me with these two feuding each other. And that may be because I'm not a Samoa Joe fan. I always tell y'all how I feel about him. I just think he's not one guy who should be in that main event slot. So I hope Swerve does win this time, even though I don't think he's ready to. So we can kind of push Samoa Joe out of the way and we can move forward. Because I think AEW just cooled off significantly since Samoa Joe had the championship. Feel like that's where they lost interest. And that's where I am.
It's a real take right there.
It's a
real take.
It's a take. I'll say that much. It's a take. Well, okay, Kenny, real quick. You said like Samoa Joe's not a main eventer. Unpack that for me a little bit.
I just don't see him as one of those guys. And it's a fact. I feel like he's in that spot right now because they didn't know who else to put in that spot. When he was in WWE, he didn't hit that main event caliber. And if he was a main eventer, he would have definitely hit it. When he was in AEW, he wasn't even in that spot because they had everybody beating him. Down to CM Punk. You needed somebody to go up for the championship. It was him or CM Punk. They put CM Punk over him. Samoa Joe goes back to the back of the line. I feel like he's just there because there's nobody else to be there.
So Samoa Joe's been a world champion in every company he's been in outside of the main roster WWE. And there's a very clear reason for that. It's because Vince McMahon hated him. He literally called him.
I agree.
No, he called him.
Maybe I got the Vince brain. I agree with him.
You agree with Vince McMahon? He's a fat
Samoan. Never seen one before. Like what?
Nah, bro. We met Justin Fatu at WrestleMania. Shout out.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Justin Fatu, y'all. Coming real soon.
Oh yeah, bro. Y'all just wait. Y'all thought Tama Tonga was big.
You're gonna tear it up.
Yeah. Vince hates Samoa Joe. Like I thought he was just getting injured all the time, and that was
another thing. Yep.
Nah, but that brother Vince McMahon had Samoa Joe on commentary, dog.
Because he was injured, and Vince McMahon put him on commentary. He was like, you know what, you're good here.
No, he was cleared. He was cleared. They just didn't want him.
He had him in a poncho.
He just did not want that man on his TV show. And I mean,
I don't know. You don't put somebody you don't want on a TV show all night.
Yes, you do. Vince has done that his whole time. He did that with Punk. There was a time where CM Punk was cleared. Like he was doing it for a bit when he's injured, but he was cleared and he just had him like doing commentary for like 4 months.
Maybe he liked how he did commentary. You know what? I like how your voice sounds on this show. I want you to be one of those guys.
Why would you put one of your premier wrestlers on commentary, dog? You know how crazy that sounds?
Listen, Vince McMahon built WWE from nothing to what it is today. The guy knows what he's doing.
Kenny Baum, of all people right here, is defending
he knows what
he's
Vince doing.
McMahon decision. That's crazy.
You know what he was doing with them NDAs.
Yo, I mean, I would never poo-poo on Vince McMahon. I mean, bro built a dynasty.
You would never
Okay.
poop.
You could
I'm
say
pretty-
whatever you. Oh,
Wasn't he doing something like that?
Yo.
Oh man.
All right.
Whoa.
All right.
Cancel Chris.
But I'm saying
Allegedly,
all
allegedly,
personal life stuff
allegedly,
to the side.
allegedly,
All
allegedly. Just want to
personal
point
stuff
out
to the side.
those
I'm
are
talking about his
allegations.
business acumen and what he built in WWE. Guys like The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, they don't exist without Vince McMahon. So you got to give the man his props. All the personal stuff aside, he's the biggest gem the wrestling universe has ever seen.
Well, he's also the person. Well, here's the thing. No, he's the biggest gem that WWE has ever seen. Like, come on. Like if we're being honest, Vince McMahon did not build up professional wrestling. He built up WWE. There is a difference in that. Because
But if you ask anybody on the street, what is wrestling? Just a normal person, they're going to go WWE.
and it's
So
because
Vince McMahon molded what wrestling is.
he molded. Well, he built WWE into a monopoly. Is what he did, though, Kenny.
No.
Whose fault is that? That's not his fault.
That just became wrestling, you know?
WWE is the face of wrestling. Anybody you ask,
That's.
they talk about WWE.
I'm not saying that's untrue, Brian. Why are you coming at me like that, bro? Don't.
I ain't coming at
Oh,
you.
he's
no
ready to
more.
fly that
you know what,
WWE
hey, Brian,
flag.
You know what? You been getting all muted. But like, I mean, like, look, we can have this debate like later, but I just don't see like, if your argument, right, Kenny, is that Vince McMahon like built WWE into what professional wrestling is today, you're right. You're correct. I just don't agree that, like with that though comes the premise that people like think that Vince McMahon is the reason professional wrestling became as big as it was. When in reality,
think he was.
No, it was already big. It was already big. Like you had international arenas sold out for wrestling shows. You had arenas in India sold out for wrestling. I mean, it's true. It's true, bro. Bro, just because you don't know the history and you started watching wrestling back in 2015 doesn't mean
I started watching wrestling back in 2009, bro. But yes, go ahead.
Bro.
You was also born in 02. I was also born in 02, though. Cut me some
What
slack.
you mean in 02, bro? You were a baby in 02. What you mean? You were born in 2002.
That's what I'm saying. I was
That's what
born
he said.
02, and I started watching at 09.
Bro, that's funny.
I started watching personally when I was 3 years old. So
yeah, that was
1985.
That was also in 2009. Kenny
I wasn't even born in 1985, kiddo. Come on, buddy.
No. All jokes aside. Anyway, last thing I'll just quickly say about the Vince thing. We can keep talking about Dynamite. I don't know how we keep talking about Vince. Is just I think there's a difference in between talking about Vince McMahon building up wrestling into what it is and WWE is what it is. That's my only point. But hey,
Wrestling became more of a phenomenon because of Vince McMahon.
That's just not true.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to stand on
WWE
it. I
did,
think
man.
Vince
I'm gonna have
McMahon
to
made
stand on top of
wrestling
Kenny.
as a whole what it
Pause.
is today.
Yeah, we
All
both
right.
gonna stand.
So
on
not
that.
just WWE. That's just my.
Without
my opinion.
WWE being built to what it is now, professional wrestling would not be what it is right now.
That's just untrue. All right. Well, I'll
I
come
think
on
it's
your
a
show and
fact,
talk
Omer.
about it.
I usually don't agree with Brian down here, but I think
no, bro. I agree as well.
I got
It's
facts
just-
to back it up. I got facts to back it up.
It is what it is.
How long has New Japan been around?
It would.
Since the 1970s.
1970s. Why is it not near as big as WWE?
Because the market in Japan is not as big as the market in North America.
Exactly. That's our point. How would we know? How would we know more about this stuff if WWE wasn't around?
And Vince McMahon made WWE global.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, he got away
I'm
from
not
wrestling in
disagreeing.
many
I
aspects.
think we're talking past
but-
each other here a little bit because I'm not disagreeing that Vince made WWE no global
No,
juggnut.
wrestling.
No,
I'm not saying not
No,
even
that's not
WWE.
what we're-
Throw that
that's
out
not
the
what we're
window.
talking about.
People
Wrestling.
were watching, dude. Millions of people were watching wrestling before McMahon, before WWE. That's just the truth.
But would they still be watching as they are today?
It would not be
invested
the
as they are
phenomenon it
without
is.
Vince McMahon? I don't
I
think
think
so.
it might be just like in Japan. People in America would watch it, but me, a kid from Turkey, would have no idea it existed.
Yeah, it would not be the phenomenon it is without WWE.
Okay, well, let's agree to disagree there and go back. To talking
Appreciate
about
you, my
Dynamite.
brother. Yes,
Love
sir.
y'all. Though. This is why I
Nobody got muted.
No. That muted. I was playing with Brian. I
Yeah,
said to get him
yeah,
back
yeah.
for that video. Anyway, guys, so on the show, we saw Moxley come out, cut a promo. We also saw Adam Copeland, Willow Nightingale team up in a mixed tag match against Big Bad Brody King and Kenny's girl, I should say, Julia Hart. Kenny, what'd you think of this?
Whoa, this happened tonight? Kiddo, you didn't even tell me.
Oh, Kenny bombed.
I forgot.
No, I was at a birthday party and I came in like 30 minutes late, but Kiddo didn't tell me Julia Hart was on.
Just for the record, he's been conveniently missing the first 30 minutes of Dynamite for a while now. I don't know what's going on.
False narrative. I was on
Kenny
vacation for the last few weeks, and today was my brother's birthday. Come on, bro.
Yeah, I did forget about that.
Are you even a
hey,
real
bro, I've
fan?
been telling you, he's not, bro. I'm telling you.
What are you talking about, bro?
When behind the scenes, bro, Kenny be talking about, yo, WWE is way better right now. It's way hotter right now.
That's cat, bro. That is cat. No, but WWE is better than AEW right now in this moment. But when Swerve gets the title and they get it off Samoa Joe, then, I'm going to be real with y'all. I am an AEW guy, but right now WWE is better. But I think when Swerve gets this championship, everything can get washed away from this Samoa Joe era, and we can move forward back to the days where AEW was on top.
It's the fact that you think Samoa Joe is the problem here, buddy.
He's the problem, bro.
Man,
I loved it when MJF was the champion and anybody else, but it seems like when Samoa Joe got it after World's End, cold.
Would you think Hangman got it? Would it change anything?
Oh, Hangman would be cooking.
Kenny be eating. He'd be like, he's never gonna be late.
He's a young man. He's an AEW homegrown talent. So if Hangman was the champion, I think he could take the company to the next level. Where you got this old guy in Samoa Joe who was never good enough to make it to the top of what people would consider the number one show as your champion. I mean, and AEW didn't even see him as a champion because CM Punk beat him in the last match.
Bro,
at their biggest show.
Look,
now he's all of a sudden you're the champion.
Why are we? Hey! I asked you about Julia Hart. Why are you still talking about Joe, bro?
Because y'all trying to say I'm not a real fan.
Yeah, talk about your girl. Talk about your girl. Come on.
So I'm scared though. I'm scared of Julia Hart at this pay-per-view because I think she's gonna drop the. I know she's gonna drop the strap.
Oh, man.
They're gonna put it on Willow. I think Willow attacked Mercedes Moné in the back. Then they're gonna build up that story for Double or Nothing. Where does Julia Hart go from there? So this is where AEW can impress me. You gotta keep Julia hot. This is her first title shot. Homegrown star. I think she's gotten really good with her promos. Her in-ring work is getting better and better every time we see her. You can't just take her off TV if she loses the championship. They got to follow up. So this is kind of the thing. I'm scared of this match.
Let's see how AEW is good at keeping people on TV after they lose the title. Let's see if they've improved.
Yeah, let's see. Because WWE is doing a great job of that with Roman Reigns.
Exactly. They can't even. I wasn't going to say it, but they can't even keep Cody Rhodes hot. We can keep moving.
Yeah. Okay, buddy. We
can keep moving.
Yeah.
Hey, Kero, my man, talk to me straight. What did you think about the? Okay, what do you think about this pairing? This is what I'm interested in. Willow Nightingale and Adam Copeland, like together, like as a pair. What do you think? It's a bit out of nowhere, but I think it oddly worked.
It felt like, I don't know, like uncle that's not related to your side of the family, and then you're like the teenager, you have them there, and like they're awkwardly, even after the match, they're like, yeah, good job, it's cool. Like if it felt a little offshoot, but whatever. Like I had no problem with the pairing itself. I thought the way they did the match was a little dangerous because Willow wasn't out there for the big part of the match. And like, what if Mr. B3K, Big Brody King, that's two B's, I think. Whatever. What if he tagged
Brody King? There we go.
There you go. Yeah.
Triple BK.
What if he tagged in Julia? What was gonna happen then when Willow wasn't there? Like I was scared. The whole match, I was like,
she's gonna beat Copeland's ass. That's what's gonna happen.
I would have liked to see that. Like maybe not beat his ass, but like do something with it. Brody is getting his ass whooped a little bit. Like tag in her. Like what is Edge gonna do? Hit her and like play with that a little bit? I don't know. That would have been cool. But
you can say Adam Copeland, bro. It's not that hard.
Come on, man. Kenny flaming me IRL. Look, honestly, I saw this as more like a build-up match, just to go home. Basically, there was not much significance in my opinion. Sasha Banks coming in for the save. I thought this was nice. They could have built on this. Like I would have loved if Mercedes Moné, okay, I'll say their names properly. Mercedes,
come on, there we go.
Shook Adam Copeland's hand, and I think she should have went for like in a cocky way to Willow Nightingale and like, hey, shake my hand too, I saved you. But no, they didn't even really like acknowledge each other too much. Willow was just a little angry. I would have liked a little moment like that, just so you can put it on the promo package and build it up a tiny bit more just before we go home. But yeah, this match, and it was an interesting way to put the feud, I guess. Like, I still don't know what Edge is doing, by the way. I said Edge.
No, come on, kid.
Just keep going. You're good. You're good.
That's right. That's what we
What
know
is-
in the match.
We don't.
What is Adam Copeland doing right now? Like, that's a problem right now with this match, I think. Because okay. Willow, I guess I get what they're doing with her. What is Adam doing?
Yeah, I mean, he's got the trios match where he's facing off against the House of Black, but even that, like, I mean, we can just talk about that right now if we want. Like, I mean,
well, I want to say one thing before we move off of that. I think Kiddo hit a good point there when he said they were awkward together, Willow Nightingale and Adam Copeland, because last week when they did the promo, Willow said, "Yeah, we should be a tag team and go against them," and then Adam Copeland was like, "Yeah, I got an idea. How about me and you be a tag team and go against them?" She was just like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yo, wait a minute." He just said the same thing she just said before they got off camera, so that was weird.
Nah, Stokely was funny though. Stokely saved that segment. My man said, "I got it."
Yeah.
We got Willow Nightingale versus Adam Copeland for the TNT Championship. Book it, Tony Khan. I was like, yo, Stokely. We need more Stokely on AEW TV. Give that man the funniest line I think anyone's ever uttered on like an AEW show was that man when he introduced Chris Statlander and he says, "She's thicker than a Snickers." That was really funny. Thicker
I didn't
than
hear
a
him say that.
Snickers. That's really
I remember
funny.
the raggedy.
She is, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Sounds like Kenny's type of guy.
What?
What? Hey now.
This is my type of guy. Whoa. What
Not
are
like
you talking
that,
about
bro.
in here?
Not like that, bro. Like Kenny, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
Kenny would
Hey,
get along with that person.
Ryan with the ST.
Yeah, let's go. I don't know Brian, y'all. Brian,
Kenny
All
would
right.
get
You know
along with
what?
that
I
person.
think-
That's all I'm saying, bro.
All
Let's
right,
get Brian out of here, bro.
Bro, if y'all,
Think about
hey,
that.
listen, before we move on, if y'all hung out with Kenny in person, you would understand what I mean. Omer understands what I mean, bro.
Oh, I
He'll
know
walk
what you
around
mean.
talking about, "Oh, you look
I don't know what
beautiful
these guys
today."
are
I know
talking
what
about,
you
y'all.
mean.
I don't know what these guys are talking
Yeah.
about.
Gaslighting going on.
Kenny's the reason I can't go back to Marriott's.
Well, bro, you were looking for the Boston cream pies. I know you're not
No,
talking.
nah. So
That's a dangerous
the
thing.
very friendly concierge person at my hotel who would not stop talking about them Boston cream pies. And I was like, "Hey, yo," like he was like, "You want a free one?" I was like,
Whoa,
so.
wow,
Like,
geez.
I don't know. Nah.
Free one.
Anyway, guys. But yeah, overall, I think we're all in agreement. This was like a decent go home show. Like the main thing here was remind everyone Dynamite this Sunday, Dynasty this Sunday. Tune in, buy the pay-per-view. Let's actually just switch gears completely because there really isn't too much to talk about. I think we're gonna get into like a lot of the stuff that happened tonight on the Dynasty part of this. So let's talk about AEW Dynasty coming to you live. There we go. We did change midstream. Coming to you live from St. Louis, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, we have a pretty stacked card. We had some matches added to the card just today, but even just the original 8 matches that were on there are absolute fire. What I'm going to do is run through the card real quickly, and then I want you guys to hit me with the match you're most excited for. Does that sound good?
Yes, sir.
That sounds good.
All right. We'll pop in, guys. First up, we have AEW Trios Championships on the line. Sorry, AEW Trios and Ring of Honor World Trios Championships on the line. We got the Bang Bang Gang taking on the Acclaim. Kenny Bomb just pulled a John
It's
Cena.
disappearing.
My bad.
He's already like disappointed. Like, nah, let me get off this stream real quick.
I don't know what is it with Zoom. It always cooks me.
It's just like this is why you gotta
Get out of the green room.
Yeah, you
Get
gotta
younger.
You just gotta get a real studio, bro.
Whoa.
Damn.
Omer trying to kill me, y'all. I'm a guest in here. I am a guest.
Nah, bro. We I'm just playing. So we have Trios Championship on the line. We also have the TBS title on the line. Willow Nightingale taking on Julia Hart. Another Trios matchup. Adam Copeland, Mark Briscoe, Eddie Kingston taking on all 3 members of the House of Black. International Championship on the line as the one, the only, the reigning champion, Roderick Strong, faces off against his longtime best friend, Kyle O'Reilly, in what's turning into a bit of a blood feud between these two. Women's world title will be on the line. Thunder Rosa, the woman who has not been pinned to lose that belt goes up against the current champ, Toni Storm, try to regain the belt that she never lost. And in a match that is going to probably steal the show, the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, defending the Continental Championship against the bastard Pac. That match is going to absolutely kill it. AEW World Tag Team Champions will be decided. Ladder match. The Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the EVPs, taking on FTR, Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood. The semi-main event, which probably should be the main event, the dream match of a lifetime. Bryan fucking Danielson taking on Will Bloody Osprey. I ain't worried about getting demonetized. Don't worry, boys.
Hey, do it up.
Otherwise, this stream's gonna make like 50 cents anyway.
Hey, live stream game.
It'd be like that. It'd be like that. That's why y'all gotta leave a super chat. But we got Will Osprey, Bryan Danielson, dream match of a lifetime. The main reason I'm going to this show, I ain't gonna lie to you. And of course, in the main event, Samoa Joe, Swerve Strickland. Can Swerve finish his story that he laid out, that he set out in his mission statement back in 2022? Almost shades of Cody Rhodes. Can he become... No. Okay, you can complain about it later, bro. Can he become the first ever African-American AEW World Champion? We will find out this coming Sunday. But first, guys, I want to hear from you. What do you guys think about this card? What do you think about the pay-per-view? Are you excited? Are you underwhelmed? Are you just kind of like, we'll see? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Karo, why don't you let me know first, though?
All right. Oh, this is a tough one. Let me see. Now, the overall match card, I'm not over the moon with it again, but I do see a lot of... I'm a singles match guy, okay? I like singles matches, the long, drawn-out ones with a... story being told as well, before, during, and after. Those are my favorite things about professional wrestling. And I see a couple of singles matches here that are super tough to ignore. I am really struggling. Like, Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly, I might choose this because last pay-per-view, Roderick Strong really had a great match. Like, I love this match. It was unnecessarily awesome. And I like Roderick Strong in general as well. So Kyle O'Reilly, the same. I thought about Kazuchika Okada and Pac too, but... man, like, I especially like Kazuchika Okada there. But I got to go with the Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay match as my most excited one. The one you said perhaps should have been even the main event. But I'm glad that it is like the semi-main event, and I hope they do it right before the title match. I know it's going to be tough for the title match to follow this one. But come on, it's the title, so we got to pay some respect. Bryan Danielson, I mean, how many times are we going to see him wrestle, right, from this moment on? And how many times... if ever, is he going to wrestle with Will Ospreay ever again? So I'm just counting my lucky days right now. And Bryan Danielson, right, I've not been satisfied with his booking. It's been all over the place. I wish he continued that heel run and he got the title. But I think that's the run that ended with the Kenny Omega match, which is your favorite match, like you said, Omer. And that was one of my favorite AEW matches as well. And like with an opponent like Will Ospreay, I think they're about to kill each other. I think they're about to kill each other.
Yes.
And, it's not the type of wrestling I am too privy to that I like too much. But, man, it's like a car crash to me, you got to look. You don't want to look, but you got to look. So I always get entertained by these matches. And, yeah, they're about to kill the building, kill each other, kill everything. Oh, boy. So this is the one that I'm most excited for. The card in general... you know what? They usually do 12 matches. I think there's less than 12 this time. 8 or something like that. I'm not sure how many. 9. Fair enough. But besides the trios match, I'm actually okay with all of them. Because I think all of them have something interesting an interesting story to tell, right? Actually, now that I look at it that way, this is one of the more nicely put together AEW cards that I've seen in a while. And I like this. This is something I've been advocating for, and I'm sure many of you right now watching, or maybe you guys too, have been saying like, we don't need 12 matches, right? Bring them down a little bit. And I think this is good. I think this is actually good. So just like the show itself we watched tonight, it's a good step in the right direction, actually. So I'm fairly excited, I would say. Like 6 out of 10. something like that for
Okay,
me.
that's fair. 6 out of 10 is cool.
Yeah, for a guy who likes WWE more, like admittedly, this is good. This is good. I like it.
For sure. And I think I agree with you. Like, this is definitely one of the more focused, like, cards, if, for lack of a better term, that AEW's put on, especially in recent memory.
Yeah.
Let me, from one Brian to another, let me get Brian in on this. Brian, you want to explain this this comment here?
Nah, bro, it was a joke, bro. Just busting your chops, you know.
Busting?
Nah, keep it 100, bro. How you feel about the card?
No,
Keep
no,
it
be
150.
honest.
Come on, bro. Keep
I
it real.
honestly,
Keep it real.
I honestly think the card is good. I'm looking forward to Will Osprey in my match. I think it's gonna be a great match. You know what I'm saying, man? And just looking forward to it. I'm gonna, as much crap as I've talked. At the end of the day, I enjoy some of the stuff that they put out. And this pay-per-view is one of the things that I am looking most forward to. Since I've taken watching AEW series and actually been watching it constantly. So I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm excited. And yeah, Will Osprey and Bryan Danielson, that's 1000% the number one match I want to see. Number 2 is Samoa Joe and Swerve. I really want to see Swerve get crowned.
All right. Kenny Baum.
So, every match on this card is absolutely going to be a banger. But am I excited about the pay-per-view? I put it at like a 5 out of 10 scale, just because I think that Samoa Joe versus Swerve Strickland should have been Hangman Page versus Swerve Strickland. And I really don't care to see Samoa Joe wrestle in the main event. So hopefully Hangman, again, wins this so we can get Samoa Joe up out of here. Bryan Danielson versus Will Osprey, going to burn the house down. They are going to burn the house down. And I'm sure they were building up the story on Collision, but Saturday is rough. I can't watch Collision, so I haven't even gotten to see a lot going into this story. Will Osprey coming out cutting his promos, but you know what? I can see why y'all say they shouldn't have put the Triple H stuff on TV time, because he did talk about Bryan in that promo, and what we walked away from that promo knowing is there was something going on with Triple H. So that kind of buried it when you didn't really have this story on like the front of the platform. So I'm a story guy, and for a good banger match to mean a lot to me, there has to be that story behind it. So I'm going to enjoy the match. I already know, but it's not going to have that emotional tie for me. Young Bucks versus FTR, unfortunately, has the stank on it from what they did last week. That is what it is. But will the match be good? I'm not the biggest FTR fan. Can they go? Sure. But I like more Young Bucks versus the Penta and Phoenix. Like that crash dummy, these guys just killing each other style. That's what I want to see. Because, you know what? Whatever.
Didn't you just talk about story, man? Never mind.
Best
yeah, I mean, there's no storylines in those matches, but still, those. I remember the one they had at, what is it?
No, what do you mean? All Out
when
2021.
Brian,
All Out 2021. They told a story
banger
going
match.
That show.
One of the best
they
tag
told a
team
story
matches
going
I ever
into that
seen.
show and during that match.
Okay, well, fine. All right.
Yeah,
That was
come on
2021.
now.
I don't remember. I just remember. Well, see, I enjoyed the match and I remember it. So that means the story and everything was tied up and I did like it because of that. Okada versus Pac. When did this get put together? I have absolutely no idea.
This is a collision feud.
A collision feud. See, that's the problem. I just think, whatever. That's a whole nother topic. But again, I know the match is going to be a banger. The first match I am actually excited to see is Toni Storm versus Thunder Rosa, because I really don't know who's going to walk out this one as the winner. I'm hoping Toni Storm gets it, and I hope they go crazy in this match. I want to see Toni Storm bleed.
Wow,
kind of crazy,
okay.
but she gets put in the black and white, right? So I want to see the red blood with the black and white, just like they do the lipstick. I think it'll be a great visual. Can they pull that off real time without editing? I don't know, but if they can pull that off, Thunder Rosa made Britt Baker bleed, and it was like the biggest moment in her AEW career. So I think they can do the same thing here. So I think we'll get something good with that match. Either way, whether she bleeds or not, I like these women, so we'll see what we get. Kyle O'Reilly versus Roderick Strong. That's what I don't care about. Nah, but shout out to these guys. Roderick Strong, I became a fan when he had the neck brace and stuff on, but now that he's taking it off, I feel like he's kind of getting back to NXT level Roderick Strong. So we got to figure some stuff back out with his character. My most exciting match of the night, Julia Hart versus Willow Nightingale. Of course, we got the Mercedes Moné stuff bubbling in the background. Do we find out who attacked Mercedes Moné? We got story going on here. So I really don't want Julia to lose. I'm personally invested in this match. So this is my most exciting match of the night. And the last match, who's that? The Conquistadors versus Malachi Black. WWE guys don't care because they're about to be up out of here pretty soon. Now, what I want to see the most is Jungle Boy come out to cry me a river. Tony Khan made some comments, made me think it's possible. Now I want it.
Well, damn, Kenny Baum just like said everything.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, my bad.
Appreciate you guys watching.
My man,
we gonna get to it?
You gotta leave. You gotta go to another birthday party. What's good, bro?
Nah, bro. I just wanted to give it to you. I mean, y'all wanted it.
Yeah, I wanted it. You good?
Wow.
We got Brian.
Cancel Christmas on
CM
Brian
Punk
for that
rules,
comment, bro.
AEW. That's cool, bro. Hey, bro, you can insult AEW all you want. Keep giving me money. That's fine.
Oh, I got you. Leave the CM Punk I just want to point this out. Every donation I give to Omer is always going to have something negative to say because I can put it on his stream and other people see it. You know what I'm saying?
Cancel Christmas on Brian.
Hey, bro, you don't gotta look. You don't gotta pay to be on my stream. You could always just pop on by.
Appreciate you, my brother.
With your terrible takes. Anyway,
terrible
guys,
takes.
I'll just be quick with my view on this. Like, I've been watching AEW since the beginning. I've been watching wrestling for, at this point, like actively, like without a break, over like almost 20 years. Wow, I'm old. This
over 30 for me.
Like, this is honestly one of the most excited I've ever been, like, for a card. Like, and I don't, like, I'm not trying to, like, make that hyperbolic. I genuinely mean that. I'm not trying to be, like, one of those travel assholes on Twitter. Like, I think, like, I'm more excited about this card than I was for, like, even, like, Revolution, even for World's End, even for WrestleMania. Like, to me, and again, I'm a sicko when it comes to wrestling. This is exactly, like, almost exactly how I want, like, a pay-per-view to be built up as. Like, stack it to the gills with great matches. Stack it to the gills with compelling stories. Because, like Carol pointed out, almost every match on this card has a reason to happen and has a story. And even if the story isn't great, the draw of the match is just so overwhelming. Like in the case of Bryan versus Osprey, that you're just like, man, this is just like two prize fighters going at it. We got to watch, right? It's like a big UFC fight. Like, sometimes those UFC fights, like, there's really no reason for them to happen, but you're just like, oh, let's go. Like, McGregor, like, Poirier, let's go. That's the way this feels to me. Like, I'm so glad that I get to go there live. It's going to be great. I got my tickets. Thank God for Tony Khan for actually making those tickets affordable this time, because as y'all can attest, man, those tickets for AEW be like, be a little too much sometimes.
Yeah, too expensive.
I got mine for $35.
Yeah. 35 is pretty damn good.
That was what for
front row.
It's just too expensive for the quality of the show we're going for. That's
WWE, bro. Like,
oh yes,
I can't.
Money in the Bank right
tickets
now.
are ridiculous.
In Toronto. Oh boy,
they are ridiculous.
Yeah, I spent $35 to go watch Monday Night Raw before. Let's not do that.
But yeah, you all the way up in the nosebleeds, bro. Last time I went to SmackDown.
Not at all.
I went to SmackDown to Madison Square Garden. I was all the way up.
That's Madison Square Garden.
I spent $100 and I was on the second boat, so I get it. But that's because it's Madison Square Garden, bro. I went to Albany, spent $50.
Why were you in Albany, bro? You're not like 3 hours.
I'm like an hour away from Albany, bro.
That's crazy, bro.
I don't know if I would ever buy a ticket to a Monday Night Raw. You guys are crazy.
Yeah,
not again. I did it before when it was good. But 3 hours.
Nah, it was a good. It was a good main event though. I got main event Jey Uso versus Seth Rollins. Great match,
bro. I wouldn't pay $5 for that ticket.
And I got Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. Great match as well.
I asked my.
How do we say brainwashed in Spanish?
Just saying, it was a great match, man. I enjoyed it.
I asked my dad
all right.
if he wanted to go to Raw after Mania. So I was like, yo, it's only like an hour up the road. Like, you want to go? And he was like, oh, that show is too long, man. Like, are they even going to wrestle on that show? And I was like, probably not. They're just going to like cut promos and be happy. And he's like, oh, I don't like that. No, we're not.
I would rather go to a
my
promo
dad was
show.
Cooking, bro. He was cooking Raw that night, bro. He was like, why isn't Cody doing anything? They're just, why are they? Oh, they have each other's belts? Why? Like, he was so confused.
That whole promo sucked.
Let me hold your hand.
Bro, he's like,
Let me
I'll
see
show
yours.
you mine.
Let me hold your belt.
Don't break my heart again.
Let's see.
I want to ask something before we move on.
Go for it, Carol.
To you, Omer, specifically.
For sure.
I'm just genuinely curious.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go to almost all of the AEW pay-per-views? Like, do you try not to miss any of them?
So it ends up, I've been to a lot. So I can do a quick rundown. All Out 2022, Full Gear 2022, Double or Nothing 2023, All Out 2023, Wrestle Dream 2023, World's End 2023, and now this one. So that's like what,
All
7 in a row, or 7 I've been
That's pretty good.
since 2022. Yeah, I mean,
World's End was my first one. And that was my only AEW pay-per-view, actually.
Yeah. Honestly, like,
What a fan.
and that was well, no, here's the thing. That was like, it was like a good pay-per-view, but it was like still like not to the level of like what you expected from an AEW pay-per-view. Even,
Yeah, right.
And I was like, that's why I was kind of disappointed, because like I was like hyping it up to these guys when we went. I was like, yo, guys, like, I'm telling you, it's different when you're in an AEW pay-per-view. Like, the vibe is different. Like, even like Wrestle Dream, I went to that show. There were like 6,000 people there, but it like felt like the entire time there were like 20,000. Like, people were loud, people were into it. Like, it can be a very different like vibe. But yeah, no, I'm expecting that vibe though.
Thinking back, I think All In was actually not All In. What was it? World's End. I think it wasn't bad.
No, it was
because
a good
if you think about it, I think that was the peak of the last peak for AEW.
If that's the peak,
that was the last
what
peak.
else
The last peak. Like, that's the last time it was
Brian.
hot. Because you think about, they had the devil angle going.
Come on,
when did we have an angle as hot as that one?
That was the biggest news for a while.
And let's talk about how bad that was.
That's why I think that's why it kind of took a dive after.
Nah, bro. I mean, you gave us Adam Cole, and he's been injured since, when it should have been Jack Perry.
That's why they took a dive after. But when I said it was Jack Perry, everybody was saying it couldn't be Jack Perry. It shouldn't be Jack Perry.
I mean, yeah, but then once again, once you really see,
Kenny. They just didn't have the rights to the song yet.
Hopefully they got it now, and we can get this thing cracking at Dynasty.
Yo, why is my monitor flashing right
See,
now?
one thing I want to say about Dynasty, though, is like every AEW pay-per-view, I wasn't satisfied with the card, and so I was expecting a surprise. Here, it'd be cool if you see a surprise, but the card alone itself is like nice enough, then I'll give it a watch. I don't need a crazy event happening. Would be cool.
Speaking of surprises, a lot of people are expecting a surprise in the form of someone or some people potentially debuting or returning to AEW in the ladder match. So let's talk about that match first, guys. AEW World Tag Team Champions will be crowned. FTR, the Young Bucks, going head-to-head for the 4th time ever, this time in a ladder match. The build has been what it is. I'm on record as saying that I think had the Young Bucks gone out there, done every single thing they did last week and not shown the footage, this would have been a much different and more compelling story, because you would have been able to build Jack Perry up in a way where you don't like make him kind of look like a doofus a little bit, and you also wouldn't have made the Punk video itself the focus of it. Instead, it would have been the story, and people were just talking about Punk. It is what it is. But the match, though, we all know what these 4 men are capable of. 4 of the best tag team wrestlers to ever lace up a pair of boots. Just Brian, and why? Hit me with it. Who wins and why?
Which match? Sorry.
Bro was like that
this
kid
man
who did not
hates.
pay attention in class. The teacher
No,
called
you're good, man. My fault. Which match?
No, you're good. Tag team match. Young Bucks, FTR.
He always
tag
does
team?
it. He always does
Young
it.
Bucks are going to win. I mean, they did the favor for Sting. They did the job for him. I think that they win this match. And I think that the reason why it's in a ladder match, it's because they don't want to pin FTR. It kind of protects them a little bit in the process.
Interesting. Carol?
Yeah, no flips, just fist. That used to be FTR's motto, and that's still their gimmick, kind of like, yeah, we're straight lace. They do no DQ matches and stuff like that, but I think this is gonna play into the fact that this is a ladder match, more of Young Bucks' playground, and they're gonna have more of an advantage. They're gonna do some dastardly things. They're gonna cheat. Now, what you said earlier kind of has my interest peaks, because are we gonna see someone return in this match, or like some crazy stuff will go down? I'll leave that to you. But whatever happens at the end of the night, I think the EVPs are winning. I think the EVPs got to get the titles.
Kenny Baum in the building. Let me know.
They brought the Young Bucks in too cold when this company started, and I think they have never went in the right direction with them since. Now with the new gimmicks, the refresh, I still don't believe them, but I think you got to build the Young Bucks up as the best tag team in this company. And you got to keep them at the top of that mountain. I'm talking about give them a Roman Reigns style run to make them the undefeated heel so you can have somebody dethrone them and you can build up another tag team. So I think the Young Bucks need to win this. As far as my boy Jack Perry interfering in this match, I hope not. We got to get him on his own. I don't want to see him tied up or linked to anybody else. Don't put him in there with the Young Bucks and Okada. Let him do his own thing and let him grow on his own with Anna Jay if you are going to pair those two together. But yeah, I think the Young Bucks definitely take it.
Yep. So Kenny, I mean, it's interesting because like I think like this iteration of the Young Bucks is probably the best they've been in AEW because it's been like the truest to what they were at their hottest. Because, like, people can say the Young Bucks, oh, they're childish. Why are they so childish? This is what they've always been. Their entire careers, their gimmicks have been that they are the biggest trolls in professional wrestling. Nothing has changed. They're just leaning in to what has traditionally worked for them, and it's working again. Like, them doing the segment where they cut the, like they interrupt the promo, and they're just like, all right, yeah, no one wants to see this, guys. And they just start, like, gassing themselves up. Like, that's why people, like, you know, fell in love with the characters, the Young Bucks. And then you see them in the ring, and you're just like, these are, like, amazing wrestlers as well. I think I agree with all of y'all. Young Bucks going to get the dub here. But we are going to get a surprise in this match. I can guarantee you. And it's going to be one of two things. The less likely scenario is that it's Jack Perry who comes out and he helps the Young Bucks win against FTR. I think the most likely scenario, though, after the match, Young Bucks win, and they're holding up the belts, and the Motor City Machine Guns, who have reportedly agreed to terms with AEW, come out, confront the Young Bucks, and it's on. We get Machine Guns, Young Bucks in AEW. God, I love wrestling.
Now, these Motor City Machine Guns, are these TNA guys? Are these New Japan guys? Because I have no idea who they are.
Yes. So Motor City Machine Guns, probably one of the best tag teams of the past, like, 15, 20 years. Really got rose in prominence in TNA, did great work in ROH for a bit there as well, and have been in New Japan as well. But right now, I think, like, they have a lot of energy behind them. The fans, like, everyone loves the Machine Guns. And I'm telling you, Kenny, you will love them. Like when you watch them in the ring, you'll be like, oh, okay, I see what you mean. Like, trust me.
Is this Alex Shelley? Is that his name?
Yep, yeah. Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley.
So
I think they're pretty good. And if they were 10, 15 years younger, too, they would have been in the WWE right now because they were doing the stuff that everybody's doing right now 15 years ago. So
yeah, okay. That was a conscious decision by them not to go to WWE. For
Zesty boy Alex Shelley. He's got the wristband in this picture here. So shouts out to him.
Hey, now.
We'll see if they got it. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. Moving on, guys. Let's talk about the Continental Championship. The Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, taking on the Bastard Pac, Kenny Bomb.
Ooh.
Let me know.
Yo, Pac came in and he was supposed to set the world on fire. I remember the match he had with Orange Cassidy at Revolution. Another one of the best matches I ever seen. And it seems like he just loses everything or is injured or stuck overseas. I don't know what it is, but Pac just never really got his wheels turning. And right here is not the time to get his wheels turning. You spent that big bag on Okada. He's got to win this match. So I'm going Okada.
Yeah, it is unfortunate because, like, he is someone, Pac is, who, like, he's got, like, everything there is to work. It's just, I think lately the visa issues have just been plaguing him. It's unfortunate, but we're going to see what happens. Kero.
Well, I got to agree with Kenny. Basically, I'm going to say the same thing, and I'll just add this anecdote or just, like, my side of when it comes to Pac. Last time I really enjoyed him was at the Cruiserweight Classic, and I thought it was criminally underrated and held back there. And so I was super excited to see what he can do in AEW. But yeah, I guess the visa issues. I always wondered why, like, he's just missing the entire year. Then he comes back, does one pay-per-view and leaves. That's been damaging to him. So much so that, yeah, I just don't see him right now in a position to beat Kazuchika Okada, which definitely needs this victory because, well, he has a title. He just came in, like he said, he's got to get this one.
Mm-hmm.
Agree. Just Brian?
I think Okada needs to win. You spend all that money on him. There's no way he drops the title, right? What is this? This is Is this his like second or third defense with the title at this point?
This is
Second, right?
defense. Yep.
First pay-per-view, right?
First
Ever
pay-per-view.
since he signed.
Yeah. I think he's gonna go for a lengthy reign with the championship. I don't think he's gonna lose now, and I think Okada needs to go over. Unfortunately, Pac hasn't really been what he was supposed to be. But I think Okada, you keep it on him, man.
Yeah,
Rainmaker.
I mean, it is like the disadvantage of like having such a stacked roster. Someone needs to lose. Like that's just
Right.
it's just the honest truth. I mean, it is a weird thing. Like Pac, I think when he was at his hottest, like in his entire career, was when he was the international champion. Because that was when he was having his like open challenge. He was taking on all comers. The dude was absolutely electric, and like he was showing exactly what he's doing. And like even to this day, like some of the stuff that him and Okada have done in this build has been some of the coolest and also funniest stuff. Because even when Pac returned on that episode of Collision, like he's like a foot shorter than Okada, right? And and Okada's like leaning back, like, and Pac's like leaning into his chest, basically, like basically like running him down. It's really cool, like it. Whether or not he's here, whether or not he wrestles, the thing about Pac is, and the good thing about it is, like, he will always have like that weird like mystique about him whenever he shows up, that you're just like, oh, this guy can win any match at any time. Like, you just never know. He's just one of those guys, right? Yeah. That being said, Okada's gonna bury him.
Yeah, pretty.
All right, guys, let's talk about
Rainmaker.
another championship match. Two former best friends turned foes, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, International Championship on the line. Kettle, let me know what you think of this match.
Yeah, I'm thinking, why is Kenny saying Roderick Strong is boring again, man? Come on, he's got the mustache. As a Turkish person, I really, really appreciate that type of mustache. You know what I mean? It's kind of, yeah, there you go, Omer.
Twirling, baby. Let him know.
Yeah. He has become a little bit vanilla, though.
Bro, this is what happens when you got real facial hair.
Magic. Ooh, Brian, that's for you, by the way. Anyways,
Bro,
I think this match is going to be fun.
Brian, I got you.
But Kyle O'Reilly has not been doing anything. Kind of like Pac. Like he returned, sure. And then they did have a bit of an angle. They are fighting each other. I just chalk it up to Roderick Strong just having the title basically the last pay-per-view. That's when he won it. We're just, hold on a second. You know what I mean? And keep it for this one as well. So I think Roderick is going to retain.
Kenny?
Roderick has to retain. He just got the championship. Yeah, he just got it. You got to give him a longer run. So Kyle O'Reilly, I don't think he has a chance here.
Brian?
Nah. I mean, ain't no way, my boy. Kyle O'Reilly gonna go on ahead and hold that L.
Well,
I'm not that sure about it. But yeah.
Well, we're in agreement.
I'm pretty sure.
No, I think we're all in agreement there. But my question is, guys, like more important than like who wins, right? Is what they do with the outcome. Because I have a theory. It's a crackpot theory, but a theory nonetheless. Right now, you have Adam Cole, baby, in a group with Roderick Strong, who is best friends or was best friends with Kyle O'Reilly. And who's the guy who we're all just waiting for him to come back? If in the case the Undisputed Kingdom ends up putting Kyle O'Reilly in the corner, who's the one guy that can come back, help him defeat the Undisputed Kingdom, and also is someone who has a gripe with the Undisputed Kingdom?
MJF.
Oh, Wardlow.
Yeah.
Wardlow.
Wardlow should have a gripe with everybody.
Wardlow or MJF?
Yeah, MJF.
Yes,
No, definitely
yes,
MJF.
Is the answer to both of those questions. I think we are looking down the barrel of like eventually MJF will return and his like whole thing is gonna be, Adam Cole, you robbed me of not only my title, not only of like the validation that I was the best in the world, but you robbed me of friendship. And now I'm going to do the same thing to you. And I'm going to get your best friend and I'm going to turn him against you. Like, I think like there's a really cool story that could be told there. Even if they bring in Bobby Fish, like that could be a really cool thing. And hell, call him the Dynasty. That would be a really cool like stable. Call him the Dynasty. Let him go. I think it'd be great. But I think
y'all
that's
still want to see that story.
Not if Adam Cole can't wrestle, Brun. There's like reports that he can't.
There you go.
That's my thing, Omer. Like, how do you
don't
feel
want to
about
see that feud anymore. I want to move forward.
No,
Yeah.
I agree.
It's been too long, bro.
I know that we're gonna get it, but it's like I don't want it unless Adam Cole can physically wrestle. If he
I
can
don't even
wrestle,
want
I
it
don't
if
want
he
it.
can wrestle.
Forget about him
It's
wrestling
been
right
too
now.
long, bro.
Isn't he like? Can he not even do manager stuff, right? Because he's still not getting fined, so they said go home and rest right now. So
Apparently, they're saying. Apparently, the report was that he's not getting enough recovery time because he's on the road. So they had to pull him
traveling all the
road.
time.
Yeah.
So they're gonna try to get him to recover. I mean, I think the match that they want to do and the match they plan is MJF, Adam Cole running it back at Wembley. And to me, that makes a lot of sense. And I think like the dichotomy of that back-to-back years could be really cool. But it all just you're right. It does hinge on whether or not Adam Cole is healthy enough to compete. But hopefully it is, man. Like, and Tony Khan, please never do one of those like high ramps ever again. No, bro. Like that was
that one ramp, bro, shattered his entire ankle, man.
Oh my god, I hate it. It's that's like my least favorite like thing in wrestling.
I'll be honest, bro.
I hate those ramps.
That injury, I feel like that. Like I know Kenny says World's End, but to me, like after that injury, everything went downhill for AEW because they had something good brewing with the Adam Cole and MJF storyline. I feel like Adam Cole would be the champion right now.
I mean, they kept it hot with MJF though. I think it was hot while MJF had the championship.
I just feel like they just had nowhere to go after World's End. Like with that storyline, like if Adam Cole could wrestle, it would have been very different.
But I mean, even with the devil stuff, they blew it, but I was still invested as we led up to that point because there's a storyline every week. Like, who is this? Who is this? Who is this? Boom, they blew it. And then it feels like there was nothing I could really grab onto since then besides Hangman and Swerve, but Hangman went out.
Yeah.
I guess they just put all their chips into one basket. And
it's just one of those things, man. Like, it was just, they just had to push pause on it. They just had to. Because, like, you have two guys who were just injured. Like, you're literally, you got two guys who were just injured. MJF, like, had to heal up from that torn shoulder labrum. Like, poor Adam Cole has a shattered ankle. Like, it's just one of those things, man. Like, and it's crazy. Like, when you think about AEW, right, they had, like, a few months where their roster was, like, at its peak. When they had, like it was just, like, probably latter part of 2021 into 2022. That was, I mean, it was peak AEW because everyone was healthy. You had Bryan, Kenny, Britt Baker, everyone, like Adam Cole, MJF, Jericho, the most stacked, healthy roster in professional wrestling, one of the most stacked, healthy rosters in professional wrestling history. And they were just putting out bangers because you knew that you were going to see one of those cool guys. And now it's like half the card is injured. We're waiting for people to come back, and it feels like a lot of stuff is on hold. But yeah, I mean, I got faith. I'm just a fan of MJF and Adam Cole, so I hope, like, I think once they pick it back up, it's gonna be like nothing ever changed. Like, I promise y'all. Like, once they get that first promo and we really hit our strides, everyone's just gonna be like, oh, okay, bet, I want to see the match.
Yeah, last thing I want to say about that is, like, MJF and Adam Cole getting injured is kind of like Cody and Roman getting injured. You know, it's like a WrestleMania main event for AEW, and both wrestlers are injured now. What are you gonna do? Good luck.
You get Samoa Joe.
That's when
another Samoan, damn it.
Triple H is like, yeah, we're gonna get Tommaso Ciampa in the main event. He's got a beard too. Shout out to Tommaso Ciampa. Anyway, shout out to the TBS champion, Julia Hart, Kenny Baum's favorite wrestler. Julia Hart defending her TBS championship against Willow Nightingale. Kenny, you already told us you think Willow's gonna win. Why is that?
Because we got the whole Mercedes Moné coming in here to mess everything up for Julia Hart. Willow Nightingale injured her, so this is where they're going, man. This is where they're going. Unless you don't put the TBS championship on Mercedes Moné. Maybe you keep Toni Storm hot and you spin Mercedes that way. Then Julia can get her win, and Mercedes and Willow can have their match that's not for the championship. But unfortunately, I think Julia is going down. I think Julia's going to lose.
Come on, Kenny.
Brian, what do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, bro, I've not to go back to WWE here, but just a quick example on how this is foreshadowing. Back when Becky Lynch hadn't even won the chamber yet. It seemed like they were building Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley, and I feel like that's exactly what we're getting now in AEW, where you're building Willow and Mercedes, and Willow doesn't even have the title in her hands yet. So it just makes the most sense to me, man. I think Willow is going over. It makes the most sense, and we're gonna get the storyline between her and Mercedes at Double or Nothing.
Ghetto.
This is I don't know. I guess this is easy to predict with Willow, saying Willow is gonna win, but I don't know. I am gonna go with my heart on this one and vote for Julia Hart to take the victory. Pull us a surprise. You know what I mean? This is not the WWE. God damn it! This is AEW. They can do things differently if they wanted. And Julia, look, I actually really like her too, and because I hang out with Kenny all the time, and he just sings her praises. I've been watching her a bit more, and I see, even her facial expressions in this match, she's like so into what she's doing. She's there, and she's improving all the time. And you know what? Winning this match, where this is gonna be her biggest match. I think this is gonna be the biggest match. Even forget about her winning the championship. I think this is gonna be like a match where we're gonna have a lot of eyes on her. So if she was able to beat Willow, even if it's by cheating, she just needs to cheat in a smart way. I think it'd be cool. And my argument will be that Willow and Mercedes, they don't need the title for their feud. They can Mercedes can come back for it. You know what I mean? Have a match with Julia Hart once again. With Mercedes this time. There you go. One high-profile match for Julia Hart. Build her up a little bit more. The young talent, you need it. You need it. It's like when we come to the women, forget about like Jungle Boy, Sammy Guevara. This is your pillar. So don't mess it up. Julia Hart for the win.
Julia Hart for the W. I just changed my mind. I'm going with Kiddo. Julia Hart.
I love Kenny Bomb. My man is such a hope.
I got to keep the hope alive for Julia, too. I'm going Julia.
Oh, man. So here's my thing, right? I think the most likely outcome is Willow wins the belt, but what have they been teasing? Outside of the Mercedes stuff, what have they been teasing for the past few months? It has been Chris Statlander, slowly but surely, listening to that little devil on her shoulder in Stokely Hathaway and turning heel. I think the seeds have been planted for that. Trent Beretta, who just came out of nowhere and like smashed Christopher Daniels in the head with a steel chair tonight. like that was crazy. But Trent Beretta was in her ear talking that talk, basically telling her that, at some point, you got to do what's best for you. And I think we have a possibility for that to come to a head in a way that people don't expect. And I think if there's a way for them to cost Willow this match, for Statlander to inadvertently cost her the match, and then, you have like this tension between those two that bubbles up to the point where Chris does the full turn, what does that do next month at AEW Double or Nothing? Let's say like they just do the match, Willow versus Mercedes, right? Let's just say they do it. And Chris Statlander helps Mercedes win. And we get heel Mercedes, who we all know Mercedes Moné is much better as a heel and much more interesting as a heel than a face. Like, that's just the truth.
Some might say she's not good at all, face or heel. I don't know. Some people might say that. I don't know.
To quote The Rock, some may be smoking that crack.
I must have been smoking some crack.
Man, Rock was wilding. Those memes are funny. He's like, go home and smoke some crack. Anyway, I think like you got a chance to do that. You got a chance to give Mercedes, a heater in Chris Statlander, and also give her Stokely Hathaway in all his glory. Like, that could be a pretty dominant force, I think, in the AEW women's division. So, but all that being said, give me Willow Nightingale. All right, guys, a few more matches to talk about. Thunder Rosa, Toni Storm, a match nearly 2 years in the making. Thunder Rosa never lost her AEW Women's World title. She's never been pinned for it. In her eyes, she is still the rightful champion, and she's trying to reclaim her prize this Sunday, AEW Dynasty, live on pay-per-view from St. Louis. I sound like Excalibur. Kenny Bomb, tell me, what do you think about this match? is it time for the timeless one to become titleless?
Never. Keep the belt on Toni Storm. Let her go in there with Britt Baker whenever she gets back, and let her beat Britt Baker as well. Let her beat Mercedes Moné. I think Toni Storm is probably the best woman AEW has ever had on their roster. Yes, I'm going to say she is definitely the best champion they ever had. I mean, she had her run early on. It was like what was it? It was an interim run. Unfortunately, she got it back, lost it. And I think right now she turned herself into this character that absolutely works, the most entertaining character in the women's division. And when it comes to her ring work, I mean, she's not lacking there either. I think she has everything she needs to be great. She is great. Thunder Rosa, apparently there was an issue last time when she had the championship where she heard she was going to lose it. So they said she might have been faking an injury. Do you want to run into that again?
She was not faking an injury. She was not faking an injury. She had a back
So
injury.
what was it? Her and Britt Baker just beefing and they were making stuff up?
She had a back injury. She was out for 2 years.
Well, they were saying rumors were going around that she was just trying not to come back because she was going to have to lose her championship.
Because people do have beef backstage. That is true. People did have beef, but she had a serious back injury that kept her off for 2 years.
And then they kept her off even longer when she was cleared. And now this is the first time she's getting back in this position. So I don't know. I think Tony Khan might have some type of fight with her as well. And she also made a statement. She also made a statement.
News, bro.
Yeah, she also made a statement. I mean, we could hear from her mouth as well. When Jade Cargill showed up on WWE and they were presenting her like the superstar, she said, "This is how I want to be presented in wrestling." So that made it look like she was kind of jabbing where she was at, saying, "I actually want to go over here and get presented like this." So I don't know. I think there's some type of internal stuff going on with Thunder Rosa. I don't think they're going to put that strap on her. And they shouldn't right now because Toni Storm is their girl. She's their gold when it comes to the women's division. So she doesn't need to drop it. So I'm going Toni Storm.
Interesting. Brian.
Man. Feel like I'm just a CD that's replaying itself with Kenny. But yeah, I gotta agree with Kenny here, man. I mean, Toni Storm, there's no way you take this title off her for Thunder Rosa, man. Listen, I'm just not sold on her. You know what I'm saying? She cool.
Got the yeeks though.
But nah, man, I just don't think that's the person that you take the title off Toni Storm for. If you're gonna take the title off Toni Storm, it got to be Mercedes at whenever you decide to pull that trigger. But right now, man, you keep that on Toni Storm for a couple more months. Maybe we get Wembley, Mercedes, and Toni Storm or something like that. But right now, nah, Toni Storm stays champion.
Yeah, okay. Toni Storm put this division on her back, man, and she's been running it. I just hope they don't let Mercedes come in and beat her. I'm sorry.
Carol.
No, I also agree with Kenny. And I don't think she's not only the best woman they have right now in terms of everything, in-ring, outside the ring character, which her character could get even better, I think, if they were to, refine it. Mm-hmm. But she is one of the best things in AEW, period. Like, top 3 things, maybe I'll put her on top 3. You know what I mean? She's great. I love whatever she's doing. Even the fake out with Mariah May and stuff like that, the first time they did it, like I still remember it. It's like the most memorable stuff about AEW is consistently has been coming from Toni Storm and her game. And Thunder Rosa, I even remember like the sandbag stuff. I don't know if that was with Britt Baker as well, but like, and then when she gave away the title, it was in a random backstage segment. It was so abrupt and weird. Like the whole championship run of Thunder Rosa was so gosh darn weird. But I do like Thunder Rosa when like her presentation, her gimmick. I guess she's a legit wrestler as far as what I've seen her, do not backstage, but on camera. But yeah, just for all the reasons that Brian repeated, Kenny said, I gotta go with my homegirl, Toni Storm.
I think Toni Storm has probably had one of the best years in professional wrestling of any star. Like, be honest, like she has accomplished so much. She's told stories. She's been entertaining, done basically everything you would want a top tier talent to do. And it is for that reason and one more that I think she is going to lose. No, like, and I'm not trying to be a smart ass there. I'm not trying to be a smart ass. Trust me. Yeah. Let me show you the vision. So Toni Storm at this point, right, I think has superseded the title. Like, and she did that a long time ago, for being honest. But like, we all know, like, we're kind of entering like another phase in this Toni Storm story, and that is like her relationship with Mariah May. And now they brought in Mariah May's former tag team partner from Stardom that they're doing this weird like love triangle relationship with. And it just feels like partially that the title is kind of like held up here. And that, you know, this is a feud that doesn't necessarily need it. That's point one. Point two, I think that Toni Storm doesn't need the belt to be entertaining. Toni Storm has established herself as an act on AEW that is going to be over no matter what she's doing. In a very similar way that Orange Cassidy did that. Like, no matter what, everyone's going to know the act. Everyone's going to love it. Everyone's going to be with it, and he's going to be over because he's over like the moon. Same way with Toni Storm here. And the third reason is because for the women's division right now, we are on the cusp of them not only bringing in big stars like Mercedes, but also having a partnership with Stardom and bringing back former stars. One of those stars seems to be cleared and is ready to come back. And for me, I think the image of whatever it may be, maybe Mariah May inadvertently cost Toni Storm the belt, whatever. Maybe she didn't like throw her the shoe or whatever. And Toni Storm loses to Thunder Rosa in a great match. Afterwards, let's say she's in the ring celebrating, and as Thunder Rosa puts up the belt in the sky, we just hear, "The doctor will see you now." And Britt Baker makes her return. I'm telling you, that arena would come unglued. People would be ready to go. And
would they?
Yes, 100%, bro. 100%.
I think she got to a point where she was getting really hot, and then she kind of got a big head apparently, and like, oh, I'm here now. I am in this position of Bayley, Sasha Banks, and I don't think she's that big yet. I don't think she cemented herself before she disappeared, and that's a problem.
She 100% did. Like she was one of the, at one point she was the biggest women's star that AEW had
in AEW. But yes, I mean that's not a huge level.
Sorry, she's one of the biggest women's stars in the world. Period. Like, I'll stand on that business, bro. You already know. Like, trust me, she will get a massive pop. She always gets a massive pop. Even when she was doing nothing with that Social Outcast feud going into All In last year, she was always getting one of the biggest pops of the night. It's just true.
Like Triple H talk about wrestlers being scared of the grind or they run from the grind. I think she's that, and she kind of said it out of her own mouth. She said, I don't want to be the champion and because I got to do too much stuff or something like that. I'm like, this is what you're here for.
Are you talking about that shit she said on the TV show, bro?
No, she said it in an interview, right? She said it in the interview.
When?
She said something about all of the burdens and everything that comes with being the women's champion and the women like arguing with you and all kind of stuff. Running from the grind. Stone Cold said it himself. If you're not here to be the world champion, what are you here for? And she hasn't had the belt since she said that. She's been on TV. She's been off TV, not injured, just gone. Come on, what are we doing? What was that, kiddo?
What?
Oh God, don't start that. The what chant is actually banned from the show. It's like that's one of the main reasons I didn't go to WWE shows for the longest time because I hate the what chant. It's like
we want tables.
I don't care about that one. Also,
that one is annoying.
He's getting mad annoying now too, bro.
Oh my goodness, I was at WrestleMania, bro. These people behind me, yeah. It's kind of like Mike from Finding Nemo. Brian. Yeah, I'm like, oh my goodness.
Like this one word bullshit that people be on, like what, woo. I hate it. Stop it.
The yes, funny though. Yeah.
No, bro, it's annoying.
Yo, why did yours always sound?
Yours sound like seductive, bro.
He's like, yeah.
Getting all, bro. Damn, you're making me all fuzzy inside, Brian. Chill.
Brian with the SD cap.
Anyway, guys, we've ran through most of this card. Real quick, we don't have to talk about this one much. Trios match. We got Copeland, Briscoe, and Eddie Kingston taking on the House of Black. One sentence. Each of you, give me one sentence on this match. Brian.
House of Black.
Caro.
Well, this will be a great farewell match for the House of Black.
Their contracts are not up, bro. Kenny, like my boy Malachi is signed till 2025. He's got some time.
Oh,
sorry, 2027. He's got some time.
Oh,
what?
Yeah, he signed a 5-year deal.
Why would you sign that? Malachi.
With AEW out of all
I say
companies,
good for you, buddy.
Jesus.
If you sign that
Malaka.
contract, good for you. Rest in it. But this match, I don't care. It's going to be a good match, but who cares? I mean, what are we doing? They dropped the ball on House of Black.
Oh man,
I thought Julia Hart's the biggest star in House of Black right now.
I thought Omer was capping. He's being dead serious.
Bro,
About what?
when have I ever lied, Brian? I don't lie about these contracts, about news. I got a reputation to maintain. You know, when I talk about news, I gotta make sure it's right.
2027.
Yeah, Omer can't be our source if he's giving
and he's literally been
news.
having
Come on,
issues since 2023 like that. He, with his booking.
Yeah.
So,
like, why would you sign a contract that long, bro?
Yeah, Tony Khan's not letting him out of that, my brother. You still got 3 years to go.
No, and rightfully so. You shouldn't. Like, you signed that contract.
Kenny
Young
Bomb,
man.
who wins?
Flip a coin. House of Black needs it, so we'll say House of Black. But Adam Copeland's gonna win, bro. It's Edge. He's gonna take it.
Nah, give me Mark Briscoe, bro, for the win.
Who?
I think House of Black needs this win, man.
Man, I gotta get y'all into like actual wrestling. Like, get away from.
Nah, I know
WWE.
Mark Briscoe, but bro, it's terrible wrestling. That's not good wrestling.
Yeah.
Kenny, man.
I could go back and watch the Bushwhackers, bro. I mean,
I'm not a big. I will agree though.
Nah, you can't.
I will
be
agree though.
saying
I'm
all
not a
that.
big
The
fan
Bushwhackers.
of Mark Briscoe though. He's cool.
No,
but I'm not a big
they're
Negative
good,
death.
dude.
Shout out to your brother and
Briscoes are
everything.
amazing.
RIP
It's just
to that man.
in
But no,
AEW, they
Kenny.
just not been showcased at least.
Kenny, I mean,
Mark
yeah,
Briscoe.
that's because Warner was on some bullshit.
I just feel like he's butt. Like, I don't know. He don't got
He's
nothing
booty
going
cheeks,
on.
bro.
No, I won't take that. I won't
So
sit here
when
and
we
take
put the
that.
AEW championship on him,
Bro,
No, not at
no
all.
one
when we put the TNT
I wouldn't
championship
even
on
put the
him,
TNT
Yeah,
or
I would-
international.
when we put the
championship on him.
international championship
He's
on
actually
him,
No,
that good.
no.
Yes.
Mid-card belt on
he's
him.
booty
No,
cheeks.
he's booty.
No, he's
cheeks.
great. He's great. He's
Man,
great.
Damn.
Booty cheeks after you wipe. Booty cheeks. Dude wipes.
Man. Guys, this is why you don't invite people who don't have good taste on your show. Look at that,
Bro, I just said The Undertaker
Brian,
versus
why-
Shawn
why- why
Michaels
your
at
lips so
WrestleMania
chapped?
25 is my
disagreeing
favorite
on
match. That's
taste, which is
great
totally
taste.
okay.
Bro, what is that? Yo,
What'd you do
it's
to
a
your
family
mic?
show. Don't be pulling stuff out like
Pull the
that.
thing out, Brian. What are you doing over there?
He's like, whoa, bro, hey, yo.
Kinda,
Actually gonna get me demonetized.
it's kinda small.
Yo, it's got like a little. Anyway, too much
Dildo.
to talk
What
about.
be wrong
guys.
with y'all, man?
Let's get into it. The semi-main event, my favorite wrestler of all time, arguably the best wrestler in the ring of all time, Brian
The Undertaker.
Danielson. Man, you gotta stop, bro. You gotta stop.
Yeah.
What is this? Oh, he's actually wearing an Undertaker shirt. That's crazy.
Rest in peace.
Undertaker.
The American Dragon, Brian Danielson, going up against Will Bloody Osprey. Dream match of a lifetime. The second that these two came out and just stared at each other, everyone knew that this was going to be magic. I had like 3 people text me who don't really watch AEW religiously. They were just like, yo, is it Osprey
doing good
versus
in their
Danielson at the pay-per-view? It's like, yeah, bet. And it's going to be heat, bro. It's going to be heat. I can't wait. Like, candidly, guys, this, like, the second they announced this match, I was already buying I was looking for plane tickets to St. Louis. Like, I was like, nah, they sold me. and usually it is a Brian match that sells me. But I'm really excited. Personally, I want this match. Like, AEW does this, right? They bring in stars from like New Japan and Ring of Honor who are used to going like full 10 out of 10 like effort wise, like not stopping. And like they kind of bring it down to an 8. WWE brings it down to like a 7, 6, like 5, like to give it more time to breathe. There's a time and a place to slow things down. There's a time and a place to like, give things the time to breathe. Nah, this one, give me a 10 out of 10. I want this to be full-on pro wrestling spectacle. Make this Okada versus Omega at Genesis. Give me the full-on banger that I want this to be. And I know Osprey's going to win. I don't care, though. I'm a fan. Give me Brian with the LaBelle lock. And now
You
give me
want Brian to win?
with his wrong take.
All right, let's
No, I
get
thought
it,
you were
man.
throwing it to him with Brian with the LaBelle lock. I was like, oh, that was good.
Yeah, man. So, I gotta go with Brian. No, I'm just kidding. Will Osprey is gonna go on ahead and win this. This is the way that you're going ahead. Obviously, Will Osprey is established, but I think right now this is a win that could really solidify him in AEW for those that don't really know who Will Osprey is. Now, I think that this is going to be a hell of a match, and yeah, man, I think Will Osprey walks away with this match. Bryan Danielson has made it his mission to put people over at this point in his career. It would be kind of nice to see Bryan walk away with a W out of this one, and then have Will Osprey double back, and we get another one, and then Will Osprey walks away with that one. But hey, they could either turn this into a 3-month program or do a one-off, and here we are with Will Osprey. And I think if it is just that one match, Will Osprey is the guy that takes the win.
Here you go. I got to say, Bryan, with his WWE brain asking for 50-50 booking. Yeesh.
Hey, man, why wouldn't you want 3 matches of Will Osprey?
I don't want 50-50 booking.
I would love
Give
it.
me 2 matches with one definitive winner. I don't need 50-50 booking. Who gets over with 50-50 booking?
The people.
I personally like it just because I get to see it 3 times, bro.
I don't need
just
to
like
see
Kenny
it 3
Omega
times.
and Will Osprey. Can you tell me that those matches were bad? They were great matches.
That's what I actually wanted to ask Omer. Omer, do you think this match is going to be better than Osprey Omega? Does it have a chance to be better than Osprey?
Does it have a chance? It has the chance to be the best match of all time. Like the potential. Like here, that's the thing. You're talking about potential, Kenny. Potential is like through the roof for this match. It could be like it could be like the greatest spectacle we've ever seen. It could be like a really great pay-per-view match. Like there's a lot of things it could be. Will it be better than Osprey Omega? From like if you want me to put my analyst hat on, I think it could be, but it would be a very, and I'm talking about the Wrestle Kingdom match, which I thought was better than their Forbidden Door match. It's a high bar to achieve that. But it could be better than their Forbidden Door match, definitely. Because their Forbidden Door match was like, it was a great match, but it was still like a significant step down from what they did in Japan.
Agreed. Yeah.
So I mean, it's definitely going to be a banger for sure, but not for sure.
Kenny
not
always
for
got to
sure.
put a negative on it, bro.
Not for sure.
Tickets. Look at his
So
head.
Bryan said some great things here. He said Daniel Bryan is in his era where he's putting people over. I agree. He is definitely in his Chris Jericho era where he's just going here with the young guys, putting people over. Will Ospreay does need this win because I think after Swerve wins the championship, Will Ospreay is definitely in line for it up next. If Adam Cole's not ready, which even if he is, I think you might want to pivot there. But much like a CM Punk, Daniel Bryan is now injury prone. So if he gets injured early in this match or something where he can't go as crazy and do the things he's planning to do, then that could bring this match down another level. So that's always the element that you got to be aware of.
My guy,
also.
why? First of all, why are you always talking about negatives, bro? Why are you always like,
Bro,
they gonna get injured, they gonna talk shit? Like
you can't build yourself up to this level where you're expecting something so great and you get in there and the injury happens. Now
he
you're
had
like,
a great match. Bro, Bryan broke his arm 10 minutes into that match with Okada and still put out a banger. This man is on another.
Could have been
level.
better. I don't even remember it. I watched it.
That match was it happened.
Man,
I watched it. I don't remember it,
bro. You just wanna be mad. Why are you mad, bro?
No, I don't. Kato just agree with me. I don't remember
That's
it.
how I feel about them every day, Omer.
Will
Every day,
Ospreay,
bro. They wanna be
Kenny
mad,
Omega,
man.
10 out of 10, banger. Bryan Danielson versus
Exactly.
Kenny Omega, 10 out of 10, banger.
Gourmet
Kenny Omega
stuff.
versus Okada, I don't remember it. I mean, what was it? Bryan Danielson versus Okada? I meant I don't remember.
You
I can't even remember who was in the match.
Go back and watch that match back, bro. It was good.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
But it wasn't
good.
great. It
There
wasn't
you go.
magnificent. It wasn't groundbreaking.
Thank you for making our point. And here's the
That's all I'm
thing.
saying.
Look, Bryan Danielson is a great leader when it comes to a match, and if he just builds this match up with the producers and everything else to make sense, to have all the crazy stuff, build up, kind of like the Kenny Omega and Okada match, the very first one, where you kind of start chill, and by the end you're like, what's going on? You're out of your body, and you're going insane and thinking who's gonna win this thing. They could totally pull that off. He pulled it off with Kenny Omega. You can definitely pull it off with Osprey, which obviously there are differences, but we can say generalizing. Now Bryan Danielson has a younger Kenny Omega in front of him, and like if this was say 5-10 years ago, actually I would have thought that this match would kind of suck because Osprey was just like go go go, but nowadays he's bulked up. And he doesn't take as many risks anymore that aren't completely unnecessary. I think they both have a pretty good mind when it comes to putting matches together. So, and Osprey had a couple of just like all of his matches, people rave about them ever since he's joined AEW. And with Bryan Danielson, I don't think they're gonna miss number one because of the quality of the names. Number two, I do feel like this is gonna be the only time they face off, and we're not gonna forget about 50-50 booking, but not another match with these two, in my humble opinion. So I think they're going to go all out for this, and we're going to see. This is probably going to be the match of the night.
Yeah, because remember, Bryan is retiring, allegedly, from full-time action in, like, August, September. So
that is close.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. So, like, there really is no room for, like, a trilogy of matches. Like, the only trilogy he has left to complete right now is with Zack Sabre Jr. because they're 1-for-1 right now, and they're gonna have that match probably at
somebody said we don't need it.
Forbidden Door.
No, I think Wrestle Dream probably. So it might stretch it out to like October, but I think Wrestle Dream that's Bryan's hometown. It's like it's
and we need it, Kenny. What you talking about? That
was
a great match,
bro.
That was a great match.
We don't need AEW. Because listen, why are they bringing people from other companies over to their home turf when we need to build up the wrestlers in AEW? You just said Bryan Danielson's retiring, right? So he's gone before this year is even over. So why are we bringing in Zack Sabre Jr.?
You know why?
Who are we building up here?
Kenny, you know why? Because there are always going to be I'm telling you, the people who pay for this product, right? The people who pay for this product, people like me, right? And like the hundreds of thousands to 1 million people who tune in either on DVR or on live TV to watch this show, they are hardcore wrestling fans. Like, that is it. They are hardcore wrestling fans. They keep up with the indies. They keep up with New Japan. They like people like Zack Sabre Jr. They like people like, Okada before he came to AEW. Like, they want to see this stuff. Like, they made a whole pay-per-view for it. Like, they made Forbidden Door specifically for that crowd to please them, right? And Wrestle Dream is a bit of a spiritual successor for Forbidden Door. And you can dislike it as much as you want, but at the end of the day, right, there's going to be things about a company, about a card that are for you, and there's some that aren't. For example, War Games as a pay-per-view does nothing for me. Absolutely nothing for me, right? But I understand that's not for me, right? That's for other people to enjoy. They like the little War Games match. That's fine. Do that. Like it's one of those things with wrestling. You're never going to like everything that's on there, but sometimes it's just not for you.
And I don't need it to be for me, but I needed them to do stuff for the company, especially with the position they're in right now.
Stuff from the company.
You can say War Games is not for you, but I mean, that's for the company. They're using their wrestlers in that situation to build them up. We're, like you said, this is for hardcore wrestlers. This is who wrestling fans. This is who they're doing it for. There's not enough hardcore wrestling fans to make this company thrive. They're getting like 700,000 per week. Those are the hardcore wrestling fans who are watching. WWE has the casuals on top of their audience. So you got to do stuff for the casuals, and casuals come back to see stars.
No, they don't, bro.
That's the point of the alternative, though.
No, that's the whole one. Thank you, Brian.
We don't want to be alternative. We want to be number one.
No, Kenny, that's not what AEW is supposed to be. Their whole thing, the reason that they were so, can you listen to what I'm saying? The reason that they were so successful is because WWE in 2019, 2020, 2021 was ass. Because they had an old ass, out of touch man who didn't know what he was doing booking that show. And a lot of the people who came from WWE over to AEW, as far as viewership goes, they came because they wanted that alternative. WWE is in a very good place now. So it is going to be harder for AEW to bring over the more casual fan. That's just true. And honestly, there's like a large like mythos about this casual fan or about like how much they really exist. I think they exist now more than ever as far as WWE goes. But those people are just not watching AEW because AEW is a different product. So, but you can't say that it's not, they can't draw, they can't be successful. They are. Because they are about to get a mass. First of all, they're a top 3 show every single week in primetime TV. That is,
you could say that. I mean, that's a narrative.
It's true.
It's spinning it to make it look positive, but 700,000 when the other show's doing 18, like 1,800 is not good.
Bro, no, what do you mean? That's not true. Bro, they're
more than doubling their audience. And then they were in a position where they were doing like 900,000, almost bumping up to that 1 million mark. And then they're slipping down. It's because of this stuff they're doing. They're bringing other people in. Like, okay, we saw him this week, but what am I going to come back next week to see because this guy isn't here next week? I think they need to focus on their talent and building their talent up.
You got to understand, though, Kenny, bro. Like, this is the alternative. They cannot be the same as WWE.
Dude, I had many friends that wanted to check.
If I want to watch
the problems, and they just leave.
Say it, Brian.
They would have watched if this was good.
The thing is, bro, if you watching WWE and there's an alternative, the alternative is the point, bro. The AEW is never going to be number one. At least not right now. I just gotta say it.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah. What do you mean?
They're young right now.
They're young right now. Not getting close to that right now.
Dude,
they cannot go out there and do the same thing that WWE does.
No, they were on the right track in the beginning.
Guys, if they started if they started being WWE light, they would lose.
You don't need to be WWE light.
Yeah, be better than WWE. That's what we're saying.
Be better than them. You don't have to be them.
So much better than the WWE.
No, you're telling me
better storylines, better continuity, better new stars.
Like you could say that about.
They could be better. They're still not going to be number one.
But why are you being worse? But why are you being worse?
What do you mean being worse? Bro, it's ebbs and flows, bro. WWE has a 60-year head start on this company. They're always going to be...
Okay, throw WWE out the window.
Okay.
AEW was on fire when they first started. They had the popular opinion over WWE, and they let that die.
That was because WWE was ass. Because they
it still
were
is,
in their
kinda.
own way. Like, I'm telling you, because 2019 was one of the worst years for that company.
Mm-hmm. But AEW was good back then. AEW was better than WWE back then.
AEW was new and fresh.
100%.
AEW was new and fresh, and they didn't have the baggage that they had now. It's just true.
I think a lot of the problems that they had it in the beginning. Now it's just way worse. So
no, I think it's worse now because in the beginning it was fresh. Like, yes, it was the alternative. It was fresh. Now they're doing what TNA did and just bringing in a bunch of old WWE people in here.
No, that's what I'm saying too, Kenny. That's what I'm saying too.
Okay, yeah. So you're telling me that if Kenny doesn't watch football, so he will know. I was gonna give a football analogy. I'll be like, let's say you have like a sports team though, right? And you have a big free agent. You're gonna be bringing in those free agents. Anyway, that's besides the point. I'm not gonna get bogged down in this argument. But what I will say is, I think that there is 100% value in giving the hardcore wrestling fans that you have what they want in bringing in these guys and peppering them in, which AEW in 2022 did not do a good job of doing. That ROH shit was ass. We all agree on that.
And the CML shit is ass too. That's another thing that I don't like.
The CMLL shit, that's more so them building a relationship with CMLL.
And that's a trash deal, by the way, that they cannot put other, I think, Mexican wrestlers on TV.
That came out as untrue. That's
untrue?
That's not true.
Because I haven't seen Roosh or any of them ever since.
But Roosh, AEW signed Roosh, right? I think he's an AEW guy.
Yes,
Roosh he is. I'm just saying that ever since the CMLL came around, I ain't see Roosh.
Roosh just hasn't been used on TV. That's a whole
exactly. They're just not using their guys. They're bringing in other guys to give platform.
But before we get too far forward, thing is trash though. Like they got to stop that, bro. A bunch of and I get it. There's people that follow that, but you just putting on a bunch of unknown wrestlers. At least to me, and I'm pretty intact with a lot of what happens in the wrestling world. But to me, that don't make no sense. They
don't do that on Dynamite anymore. So let's all just be thankful for that.
Yes, thank God.
Here's what I will say, just to close the loop on my part of it. At least y'all can keep talking, obviously, if you want. If you look at the business of AEW, though, they have outgrown the expectations that were set for them back in 2019. It's just true, right? They were expected to be like profitable at like years after what they're going to be. They're going to get a massive increase on the rights deal, which CM Punk, like I'll say this. Last thing I'll say about CM Punk ever on this show. My guy, when he says that AEW, is not in like business or they're not a business or whatever, that he told a lot of truth on that podcast, and even I gave him credit for that. That was the one biggest lie that he said, because it's just untrue. Punk looks at it from the perspective, and a lot of other wrestling fans do look at it from the perspective of they're not drawing good houses. They're not drawing, it means they're in the mud, they're failing, all that shit, right? When fundamentally, that's not their business model. AEW is not, their business model is not to draw fans. It's a whole separate issue. They should be drawing more fans. That is an issue. But the business model for them has always been TV. It's been creating that content. It's been getting that tape library from ROH. That is their business model. They are a content creator in the same way that WWE is. That's where the money is. Tony Khan saw that in 2019, and that's why he started AEW. Regardless of whether they draw 2,000 or 20,000 for a show, they are always going to have that money from TV coming in because they are able to draw those people. And Loaded as a beast in the chat saying Tony Khan is delusional. Bro, that's just business. It's business. Yes. Shout out to you, Loaded.
Yes. No, but Loaded made a good point. He said 700K viewers is not good, bro. I want AEW to be competition, not just an alternative. That's why y'all keep saying it's an alternative. No, it's supposed to be competition. And they were saying, like, we're not competing with WWE at first. And then they switched that, like, yes, we are competing with WWE. And that's because back then the product was really good and they could actually say that and stand on it. When the pandemic started, WWE didn't know what to do. But Tony Khan went right in there and shot the show as it should have been shot. And WWE actually followed suit. He was doing creative stuff with this show. I don't know what happened, but that completely changed. And just bringing guys in here that we see one week, again, I just don't think is a good idea. I don't care about the business or if this is a good business or something. What I care about is when I turn the show on Tuesday, is it good?
Exactly.
Well, if you 200, 300 Tuesday,
viewers, but if the show was good, let's go.
You're going to be watching NXT. If you watching maybe that's
NXT is not good.
Watching NXT.
NXT is just not good. Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever it comes on.
Kenny's like, damn, bro, who the hell is Von Wagner? AEW's in the mud.
But even with NXT, that shows they're just not bringing random people in there. Either somebody from the main roster, otherwise they got their guys that they're training up that they want you to know. Random. So they're building up those stars to push them to the main roster. Shout out to Zack Sabre Jr. But bro, if you're not going to sign to AEW, stay in New Japan.
Yeah, he's gonna show up for 1 week before the match, and no
double-edged sword anyway, bro.
Because
when you bring somebody from New Japan, that means viewers from New Japan also come and watch the show as well.
5 viewers, goddamn it! They're hardcore fans that's gonna watch AEW anyways.
Y'all sound very ignorant.
Y'all
sound very ignorant. New Japan does not move the needle.
5 viewers, y'all sound very ignorant, bro.
No. Okay, no. What's the one AEW show that sells out immediately whenever they run it? What's the one pay-per-view that always sells out immediately?
Night.
Forbidden Door every year.
What about the TV ratings when they bring over the New Japan guys? They don't.
I mean, New Japan guys don't really be on TV like that. It's more for pay-per-views.
So why are we putting them on AEW TV if they're not superstars?
All right, well, because they're not superstars. They're fucking wrestlers, Kenny. They're wrestlers. This is all elite wrestling.
Speak that truth.
We're the best.
No, I mean superstars in a literal sense, as in like a celebrity is a superstar.
Part of the deal, though, is AEW at the end of the day wants to sign some of these people. That's why Will Osprey had a very large presence in AEW leading up to his signing. They want to make sure that the audience is used to seeing these people, how they react to them, so that when they do sign, that the audience knows them and they're like used to seeing them. Like that's part of the equation here. And like Brian said, you can say it's a double-edged sword, like, because at the end of the day, you want these people to feel important. And for them to have a bit of lore in your company, you're going to have to take some time to tell that story. It is what it is.
They don't even do that.
I'm even an AEW fan, but I get it.
My biggest criticism with Forbidden Door is the fact that we don't get these New Japan wrestlers. Like, they just show up for 1 week. Oh, the match is happening.
Exactly.
Good luck. They don't even introduce stuff. They don't even get that right. Like, what's going on?
It's a collaboration, though, bro. Just like the Royal Rumble.
Show.
We had Jordan Grace in the Royal Rumble, and we never saw her again in WWE.
Exactly. One time.
And that's fine.
You don't see them doing that every week or every month.
Product, vice versa.
It was at a Royal Rumble too.
Kenny. Why do you care?
It was a Royal Rumble. That's what they do in Royal Rumble.
It's once a year. And
they didn't build a whole pay-per-view around the same thing.
But they're not building a whole pay-per-view around Jordan Grace is coming in.
They're building a whole pay-per-view around Forbidden.
Like, what I'm saying is this. You talk about casual wrestling fans or anything, I think you could put me in that box because I'm only watching WWE and AEW. I don't care about New Japan at all. Forbidden Door is my least favorite pay-per-view of the year. It's one I don't care about and I wish they got rid of because I don't care about these New Japan
They won't.
guys.
It's too profitable.
We'll see how long it continues.
It's true, bro. It's going to draw $1 million gate every single year. Going to sell 100,000.
And they should be able to do that with their AEW guys. If you took that time to build up your AEW guys, because you got superstars in the company who are just not on TV. And why are they not on TV? It's because they're taking the back seat when you're bringing all of these other people who are only going to be here for a week or two, and then boom, they're gone. Nobody remembers, and then they come back.
Bro, where's The Rock? Nah.
The Rock is a WWE guy through and through, though. They build him up to the superstar he is.
So we got the Zack Sabre Jr. here and The Rock, number one most famous man.
It's crazy. It's crazy, kiddo.
Planet
It's crazy.
Because The Rock's not
You
around.
compare Zack Sabre Jr. to The Rock.
No, because I'm serious. No. You were
and Roman Reigns.
Whatever, bro. Like I get. We see it. And Lex Express, appreciate you. By the way, I saw Lex on y'all's show. Shout out to that man.
Lex, man.
Too profitable, 100%. Forbidden Door is a profitable ass show. Just look at the house they draw. $1 Million Gate every year. Sells over 100,000 pay-per-views. It gets the hardcore wrestling fans excited. And AEW needs to do a little bit of that because that is their base. That's the base that got them like going in the first few years of the company. Like, for Tony Khan, I think it's an easy business decision to just give them that.
Well, fine. You know what?
I don't
Give
mind
them
it because
that.
it's once a year. It's not something that's reoccurring. That it's like 4 pay-per-views out the year. We're getting these guys and we never see them again. It's once a year, and at the end of the day, like I said, it's a collaboration, bro. If WWE and AEW got together, we say it all the time. That would be amazing.
That's big difference.
No, bro, because it's still the same idea. These
Go ahead,
WWE
kiddo,
wrestlers and AEW wrestlers
right
are going to see each other once, and then they're gonna disappear off each other's TV
So
shows.
you're saying New Japan equals WWE? I get it. You know,
no, I didn't say that.
I get it.
I
think that's what
he's
saying.
like Kenny. It was an example. It was an example. If WWE and AEW got together, we would think it's the coolest thing ever.
Well,
just like there are other fans who
massive.
think NJPW and AEW getting together is the coolest thing ever. It's just not. It's just not for some people.
Casual wrestling fans not going to care about it because we don't watch New Japan Pro Wrestling. We watch AEW, we watch WWE.
But there's a hardcore base
these
that
two
watches
big
it.
companies collaborating. Yes,
Kenny, come on.
Kenny, you also have to look at it past
There's
yourself.
two things here. Kenny, you're older than me, so you understand the business aspect. That's one.
I don't understand the business aspect. That's the problem.
And two,
it's like a Band-Aid. This is a Band-Aid.
It's not good business.
There's no way that I'm not like. I watch AEW and I go to their shows, but there's no way that I understand this more than you do. Like, this is your company.
Bro, it's not good business. If it was WWE, yes, I understand because WWE is up here. Right now, AEW is bigger than New Japan Pro Wrestling, in America at least.
Yes.
So this is benefiting New Japan, but it's not benefiting AEW. When you send Jon Moxley to win the IWGP champion in New Japan, that's what I don't care about. So that does nothing for AEW.
Bro, it's another belt.
I don't care. That's their big championship,
bro,
right?
It's one of those
200 belts, man.
Bro, it's one of those things. It's not for you. For me, that is some of the coolest shit I've ever seen in wrestling.
The hardcore wrestling fan in you, but casual fans who watch wrestling and who they want to get in.
Yes, bro, but everything is not supposed to be for the casual fan, though. Especially AEW.
Well, be happy hitting hardcore fan numbers.
AEW, they have to target a different audience, bro. They cannot target the same audience as WWE constantly.
Yes, they can.
No,
yes,
you
they
can.
Fox targets the same audience as PlayStation.
Bro, I promise you.
Nintendo's the only one who targets a different audience.
I promise
so why does the WWE bring in Logan Paul?
AEW's consistent viewership are hardcore wrestling.
That has nothing to do with anything.
And they're all watching WWE as well. But those casual fans who only watch WWE are not watching AEW.
A lot of them complain about it on Twitter. They don't watch it, bro. I'm telling you.
I'll tell you what, if AEW gets down to 600,000, even if it's 690,000 viewers weekly, it's not good. That is
no, Brian. I'm not saying it is by any means.
It looks like it is.
I crap on their viewership all the time, especially when Tony Khan comes on Twitter. Oh, we got a massive increase, dude. I get it. But
and WWE numbers aren't good right now either. So just to let you know that they're not
okay. That's fine. I mean, they're doing great.
They couldn't even hit 3 million with the Rock.
They're booming. It's cool.
Let's not toot their horns over there.
They had 19 sold out shows. I don't really care.
The sold out show ended this week when the Rock stopped coming.
By
so
300
we see who was selling out
opening
those shows.
sections. That's
bro.
They needed the Rock. Cody Rhodes can't do it by himself.
You see all those empty seats in WWE this week, bro.
They cannot, bro. They cannot target, bro. There is no way. Like right now, we're passing over each other because you think that I'm saying one is more whatever. No, the whole point about this is that we're talking about AEW being an alternative. That's what they've always been. They've been another company that's there in case you're not enjoying what the hell WWE is putting on. You go to them. They've been the target because at the end of the day, they cannot be number one.
They can be number one. That's the problem.
No, they can't, bro. No,
I think they said isn't Prime like selling more than Coca-Cola right now?
Don't just close the company at this point. What are you doing?
Listen, even when WWE
isn't Prime selling more than Coca-Cola right now?
Dog, listen. Even when
no. I'm sorry, Brian. I got so Kero.
These brands can pass one another up.
Hey,
Nobody's locked in.
Kenny. So Kero, you're telling me any wrestling company that can't be bigger or better than WWE needs to close their doors right now?
Anybody can be bigger and better than WWE.
Yeah, they should try.
Bro,
if they're not trying, don't bother.
Exactly.
If you're not
becoming
WWE champion, same as Stone Cold says for wrestlers.
Bro, like I don't get.
They had 4 or 5 years to do this. They've been regressing all the time because they're targeting these fans.
There is no way
they should be bigger than WWE right now.
Should be number one.
Bro,
WWE.
Brian, are they like they're doing this as a bit, right?
No, they're doing this to argue. Should be hitting 900,000 per week at least.
WCW died because of this. TNA is a zombie because of this. The only reason why AEW isn't dying it is because of Tony Khan and his endless amount of money. If you don't go for number one,
they have a. I don't. We're talking basketball.
Well, the audience is bleeding off. Let's just call it for what it is.
I can't sit here and
not even getting close to 1 million anymore.
That's a separate conversation, though. That is a completely separate conversation.
That's my point, Kenny.
Like what y'all look like right now
is a ratings convo.
Have y'all seen that meme where the dog's sitting in the house that's on fire and he says, "This is fine"?
This is about who they talk.
That's Tony Khan right there. That was Tony Khan all along.
You gotta address it.
There's a problem, Kenny. If the question is, AEW is not going to be bigger and better than WWE, then you're right.
Forget WWE.
That's not.
Yes,
that's not going to happen right now.
What the fuck are we arguing about?
Forget about him.
That's not going to happen right now. Keep working, keep cooking, make your show better. Down the line, you're going to get to that point if you keep making a better show, and you got to appeal to the casual audience. Y'all think they should focus on this hardcore audience?
I'm not saying
not sustainable.
We're talking about one pay-per-view.
Well, Brian, you said
to the hardcore audience.
No, Brian, you said they cannot try to get that WWE fan. Well, where do they get their fans from?
What I'm saying is that right now you target what the crowd that's already watching, and you want to keep going while you grow and continue growing. You're trying to make the argument right now that WWE should AEW should take over.
They're literally going down
in 5 years, bro.
That's my problem. They're not continuing growing. They're going
even when WWE was putting on the most garbage Monday Night Raws and SmackDowns. Yes, they beat NXT. Whatever, they beat them 82 weeks in a row. But they've never beaten Raw, even when they were putting up the garbage stuff.
Because the shows weren't good enough. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
No, because
Creature All-Stars make better shows, and you will.
No matter what WWE puts on, there will be people that eat that shit up no matter what.
No. TNA was coming close to what?
Yeah.
TNA was
they were getting there, 1 million. You know what I mean? They were getting there. Then Hulk Hogan came in and ruined the company, but they were creating their own
Monday nights and
no, that's. I'm sorry. They never got close to WWE. WWE.
They were getting there.
They got closer than AEW is right now.
No, AEW right now in viewership numbers is closer than TNA ever got at their peak. It's just true. You're comparing 4 million
at their peak.
The highest rating TNA ever drew was 1.7 million, and that was Hulk Hogan's debut episode. I've looked at the metrics, bro. I know. You want to go Google it right now? Go ahead.
No, there's no need to Google it because AEW never came close to that number.
All right, we're gonna talk about the main event.
Yeah, unless I was sleeping. Yeah.
I mean, I'm an AEW guy, kind of. I'm
Me
neutral,
too.
actually,
I love AEW.
It is what it is, man. Listen, Brian, think about your business, your YouTube channel. Let's say you drop videos every day. Every day you hitting 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. And then you notice after a few weeks, 8,000, 7,000. Now you're hitting 7,000, 7,000. Do you look at it like, wait a minute, I need to do something, or what's going on? Or do you just keep going like, this is fine. 7,000 every day. This is fine.
It depends though, bro. It's different things.
You're getting less comments.
Because I can tell you right now that if you want to get technical, before the game came out, we were all averaging more views.
But that's a difference. You're looking at it in your YouTube sense. That's when something's hot. Of course, it's going to be up here. But AEW runs all year. There's no hot point. There's no cold point. They don't have a WrestleMania. So WWE sold out all these shows in a row. Now their attendance is going to tank because WrestleMania is over. The Rock's gone. So they can look at it like, okay, the game just came out. Everybody's kind of cooled off. Now when the game comes back out next year, they'll get that attendance back up. But if you're doing the same thing consistently every week, this is what I do.
Bro, but that's the
But
thing.
the numbers are
Kenny.
going
That's
down.
where
You got to look at it and
wrong,
realize
bro.
there's an issue.
That's where you got it wrong, though. Here's the problem with what you're saying, right? They're all year round. They're not all year round getting other talent from other companies in their TV show. They only do this for one.
They do this
show.
all year, bro. You get
Bro,
Minoru
the
Suzuki.
CMLL, that's
guys.
the only thing that I disagree with. Yes,
You get
them
Minoru
the hell up
Suzuki
out of
on there.
Why
You
is
get
Brian
We're talking
But
about
come
it.
on, man.
AEW.
random Japan
Nah,
guy
bro,
3.
because it's not
Who's the
about
other
it's
guy
not,
that
not
nobody
about
cares
me
about?
liking
Who I think he runs
AEW.
Japan or
It's not about
something?
me liking AEW or liking WWE more.
Tanahashi.
It's just from the business perspective,
Not
dog. It makes
Tanahashi.
sense.
He's another one. But Rocky Ramirez, that's his name.
Oh,
Who
yeah,
is this
Rocky.
guy?
Oh my
Why
God,
is he on my
talking
TV?
about- Bro, you're talking about.
bro, what are we
you're
doing?
talking about the pre-show on Forbidden Door. You're complaining. I can't.
Oh,
We're
he was
talking
on
about
the
main event.
pay-per-view.
No.
I'm talking about
Executive-
TV.
I'm sorry. I love y'all. This is my channel. Executive decision. We're talking about this main event, and we're getting out of here.
Main event.
AEW World Champion Samoa Joe.
Got to get on my Brian tip real quick. Get the chapstick on.
What's wrong with you, bro? What is wrong?
Oh, I love you guys. I love you guys so much.
My bad, bro. Go ahead.
We got the main event. AEW World Champion and Kenny's least favorite wrestler, Samoa Joe, defending his world title against Swerve Strickland. Guys, simply put, is the St. Louis, what is it? The Chaffetz Arena? Is St. Louis going to be Swerve's house this coming Sunday? Will he win the AEW World's Heavyweight Championship? Brian.
Swerve is finally being crowned. I don't know if he's ready, but it's time. You're not going unless he gets caught cheated. Like there's no way he loses this match clean. He has to win this match if it's a one-on-one. Swerve needs to win, bro. Needs to win. Cannot lose.
Kero.
This has to be Swerve's house. That's right. The time has come. We don't need to delay this any further. Swerve has a bit of a problem with the promos. I see that his confidence needs a little bit more work, but he's got to go all in. He's got to go all in. He's got to go crazy. He's got to become that wrestler. Think like a wrestler, act like a wrestler, sleep like a wrestler. I don't want to say another word that rhymes with that. This is his time, I think. I was thinking, just off the top of my head, of course, but maybe MJF would come back to this match. But what you said, Omer, makes more sense for the ladder match because he has more, I guess, history. But you could show up here too. I just don't see it in a way we can integrate it well. So I'm just going to say Swerve is just going to go crazy, man. They're going to bleed. They're going to beat each other up a hell of a lot. And because Samoa Joe just lifted the title at the very end of the Dynamite, which is something you never do if you're winning at the pay-per-view, he's about to lose. He just cursed himself.
I agree. WWE Logic says Swerve definitely wins this match because Samoa Joe came out on top on Dynamite. Now, Omer said, y'all guys, that Samoa Joe, him and Trevor Taman, shout out to Trev, said Swerve Strickland is an amazing promo. How do y'all fellas feel about that?
I said my
Who's
piece.
an amazing promo, Swerve.
Yeah.
Swerve.
I don't know what TV show that brother been watching, but I'd like to see it.
Now,
too.
Omer, this brother here too.
His
Both
brother
brothers
right here.
said
I
he's
think-
an amazing
I think
promo.
Swerve is a great promo.
Oh boy, Omer, you had me, dog. You had me for. I was on your team all podcast, dog. Bro, I just can't get behind Swerve sometimes, bro. There's times where it looks good, and then there's times where it's like I feel like the guy has no confidence in what he's saying, and I think that's part of his growth. You know, his character development. That's what he has to get better at, and I think that's why I might not be fully on board with giving him the title right now. I definitely think he deserves it, and he has to win it at some point. But his promos, man, they need work, bro. Either have Prince Nana start talking, or he got to figure it out.
Look,
the
biggest thing I saw from him was when he was signing the contract with his blood against Samoa Joe. The way he was maniacally laughing, that was good. I want more of that. Most of the time when he speaks, he's scared to say the next word. Oh,
He needs
am I
to
going to
figure out
stumble?
his character.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he does great. I think he does great character work and things like that. Like when he's signing the contract with his blood, those things are great. He had great body language. He does have that confidence in his like swagger, but when he gets that microphone, it all goes away. It does seem like he's nervous. He doesn't know what's coming up next. When he was sitting there talking to Renee Young tonight, he just looked unsure. When he said, "I shouldn't be telling you this, Renee," I was like, what? It sounded like he was going to tell her to mind her business or something, but he got up and then did the mean growl talk to Samoa Joe. I just don't think his promo is there yet. Now, does he win on Sunday? I honestly wouldn't be mad if he didn't, because I think Swerve should be crowned by Hangman. I wouldn't be mad if Hangman comes out here and interrupts this match. Somehow Hangman gets the belt from Joe, because I think Swerve's, like people were saying, Stone Cold and The Rock. I think Hangman is Swerve Stone Cold, and the title win would mean so much more if he took it from Hangman. Samoa Joe is just like a avatar, place wrestler here, and he's taking the title from him. So, yeah, if he gets it, congratulations. First black AEW champion. You beat Samoa Joe. Good job.
Bro.
MJF would have been a big win. Hangman Page would have been a huge win.
Bro, bring out the play hater of the year 5 years in a row.
I'm just keeping it 100, bro. I'm just keeping it 100.
Bro, damn. Okay. I mean, Swerve is gonna win. After this, though, you know what? What's one thing I wouldn't mind seeing, and AEW doesn't do this too much, but I wouldn't mind seeing them go right back to the Swerve Hangman stuff and Hangman taking the belt off of Swerve and then them doing like a bit of a back and forth, because that's a feud that like you could genuinely could warrant, like, you know, people call it a hot potato. I think it's only a hot potato if it's like happening like champion after champion after champion. But like if it's like within the context of a feud, like another one, like we want to get an example. I think Cody and Seth, if they run that feud like in the summer, I think they could do like a thing where like 1 month after, like, you know, like 1 month Cody comes in as champion, Seth beats him, and then the next month they give it back to Cody. And I think that's like completely warranted because it fits the story, and also it just makes the feud mean more. I would love to see that with Hangman and Swerve. And I mean, the key to all of this, right, is like, is Hangman going to come back and cost Swerve the belt? If they do that, there's going to be me and about like, what is it, 6,000-7,000 other people in St. Louis who are going to probably storm the ring. No, we would never do that.
I wish Swerve had some type of money in the bank thing he could bring out there and just steal it. Would be beautiful.
Be hilarious.
It would be perfect for this story.
Anyway, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be great. I'm like, that's the other reason I'm honestly going to this show, honestly, guys. Like, I want to be there when Swerve wins the belt. Like, I've seen the past 3 AEW world title changes. I'm trying to see my 4th in a row. You already know. Trying to keep that streak alive longer than The Undertaker. Then maybe Kenny Bomb will like me.
The Undertaker. You're right.
I've seen the last 2.
The Undertaker. Kenny's like, yes. Agree.
That's it. I'm here.
See, if AEW signed The Undertaker, Kenny would just be like, yeah, no, greatest company to ever exist. All the problems gone away.
I'm flying out to every show he shows up at. Easy.
Man. Well, guys.
My boy got closure, though. My boy got closure at WrestleMania.
It made no sense. That shit made no sense. I mean, like, it was great. It was a great moment. Like, I understand why they did it, but I was just like, damn. This story, bro. This is all spectacle. But shout out to them. It was a great show. Anything else we want to talk about?
I think this is it.
Big Ohm. It was a great show, great night. You guys got some wild takes. Looks like my boy Kato is with me here tonight, so big shout out to Mr. Valentine.
Shout out to Mr. Valentine.
You know it.
And you and Brian were supposed to be beefing on this show. What happened?
Brian
dropped your name in the video. You dropped the track on it.
Takes just make you come together, man. And Kenny's outrageous takes will do that to you. So
nah, bro. This happened on the last time. This happened the last time too. Like, Brian and I were beefing all day. Like, yo, my man made a video about me. That's crazy.
I think I'll make a video about just you, buddy. That's
great. He was like, yeah,
he called you out.
I respect him. Bro, he's coming in with a wild take. Jay Uso should have been champion. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, I do stand by that. I think Jey Uso should have beat Roman at SummerSlam, but
Hey, I think Jey Uso might take it from Damian Priest. If they're really building up this bloodline versus bloodline storyline, it makes sense. Build Jey up as your big champion on Raw. You know, you got the big bloodline stuff going on SmackDown. Let's do it. But this is an AEW show, and Omer, you driving, so take the wheel, please.
hell yeah.
Before
Guys,
I keep
be
going.
sure to go over to youtube.com/Kiss the Ring. Subscribe to their channel. Link for that is going to be in the description as well. Guys, they put out some of the best podcasting clips, all that shit you will ever see. These are genuinely, like, y'all already know, I don't agree with them about a lot, but these are three of my favorite people to chop it up and talk about wrestling with. Love y'all. So go subscribe there. Subscribe to their channels as well.
Subscribe to Real Take Wrestling, y'all. Come on.
Yeah.
Drop a like on this video if y'all haven't already. How much likes we got? I'm sorry, Omer, but I got to take the wheel back. How much likes we got on this video? 15 and 14 watching. If y'all haven't dropped a like on this video yet, please. This man was great enough to invite us on his show and kind of throw everything off the rails. So drop a like on the video.
No, it's always a look. This is a dubious show for sure.
Dubious. Shout out to Mr. Dubs. Big shout out to Mr. Dubs.
Boo!
Whoa, Brian, what are we doing, bro?
Brian coming in hot.
But yeah, man,
Hey,
I
bro.
genuinely want to thank you for having us here, by the way. It's much appreciated.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Guys, go subscribe to all three of their channels. They're the best content creators going out there. Obviously, you know, second only to me. But
Woo, you just gained a new subscriber in David. Shout out to David.
shout out to David. I appreciate you,
David.
bro. All right, guys. Enjoy wrestling, whether you're watching WWE, AEW, New Japan, CZW, all that shit. Make sure you enjoy what you like, and also make sure you have a hell of a day, a hell of a week, a hell of a time. Until next time, be happy.
Shout out to Taco Kid as well, who just subbed.
Shout out to Taco Kid as well. Appreciate y'all. Be happy, be healthy. As always, keep it real.
Chess.